What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you live on this beautiful Friday evening. It is 6:03 Best Coast time. Couldn't be happier you're here. I mean, maybe I'm good, but I'm just, I'm stalling to finish eating some of the pasta that I made for myself. Because yes, we get a full night ahead of us here, people. We have Flow Grappling, as presented by Tezos, is who's number one? Craig Jones versus Pedro Marinho. And today, I believe, in my heart of hearts, we will truly answer the question, which is as follows. Who is number one? I'll tell you this much. If there is a ownership of who's number one, it's not one of the competitors, it's Tezos, because they're the people who actually have their name right up at top. What is up, Jordan? What is up, Tappa Jappa, John Cloud? Good to see y'all. I'm going to be here all night. Going to be making jokes. We're going to be cheersing those folks who get finishes within regulation, because that is what we do here on this show. What is up, Trevor Moore? I see Jordan Wears No Gi saying, yo, what's up, Meg He? Yes, we are having our traditional fight companion. We love celebrating those who get finishes within regulation. Not too much of that so far, but things can very much change. There is going to be a lot for us to witness. So if you're watching us on Instagram, we love you guys. You can also tune in on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter feeds. You can find it at Grappling Hour. It's very simple. So while we've got some time to waste because we're seeing a Dollar Mirror commercial, you are more than welcome to go and tell us what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Send all of your stuff here. My good friend Vince Cachero directed this very nice commercial for one of the people who looks like a lawyer who's paying for this. And it looks like he's a blue belt. So nice to know blue belts ball out of control and can pay for these events. As we always like to do as well, tonight's beer of choice is from Smog City Brewing Co. Smog City Brewing Co. It is a Smog Days IPA series known as Space Weather. Yeah. I always wonder how drunk or high they get when making some of these names. And sometimes it's very hard to ascertain that. I see Bryce over here. Bryce, I think a little bit earlier, was trying to challenge me to a match. I mean, you guys can see that at probably a number of different open mats. Not interested. He told me I was mean to him. I said if I was ever mean to you, you deserved it. So, yes, it is delicious. Actually, a very good drink here today. Hopefully, we'll get some submissions that render me needing to take some of these drinks. But to begin, we have to wait a few minutes, it looks like, because they're doing their brand insignias, and then from there, it looks like we're going to have a bunch of things to talk about. What is up, Coach? What is up? It's Hater. I see Coach is working all the time. My man out there slanging all personal training out in the, I believe, is it Orange County? You can tell me if I'm wrong. Again, we have a lot of people that are friends of the show, so if I ever get things wrong, and I do occasionally, feel free to chime in and let me know. But my man's killing it. Looks like the personal training sessions are deeply in work. And if you're like me and you drink one of these, you should make plans for next week already. At the end of my personal training sessions, I work with my guy, my strength and conditioning guy, Gabe. And I always tell him, Gabe, it's the weekend, so don't expect me to have will or not eat pizza and drink beer. And then he looks at me and he says, so you're not going to abstain from any of that? And I say, no, that's not in the cards. But good to see. It says, yes, sir, SoCal Mobile Training. Absolutely love to see it. Love to hear it. You do great work, sir. Love to always shout out friends of the show for that sort of stuff. I see Jarrett Donahue is joining us. Hello. And again, you guys, you're a social aspect of this experiment. Every time we do one of these fight companions, you know that you're part of the show. So you're welcome to send in your comments and let me know what you're thinking and feeling. I'd also like to point this out. How did Jennifer Lopez get a commercial on Flow Grappling? Who, and I mean this sincerely, who amongst the people watching are the guys who are watching a grappling event who go, oh, is that a J-Lo rom-com? Need it. Show me that information, because currently there is a nice little placard that says Jennifer Lopez in Marry Me. Now, I'd like to point this out from a programming standpoint. We prepared to go at exactly 6 p.m. our time, which would be 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Seems like a normal time to put on an event. And I now have a placard that says the main card will start in 8 minutes and 26 seconds, which would mean we start at a random 15 of the hour. What is this? Are we TBS? The 80s? Jesus Christ. Les boof, my friends. Les fucking boof. So anyway, while we've got some time to kill, a few things to talk about. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a fight companion over at our friends at Strength and Mobility. I hope that you guys are watching UFC 270. If so, grab a beer, cheers along with us there. We're going to be there starting at approximately 5 p.m. Depends on how long it takes me to set up, but let's say 5 p.m. is a good time to start. I think that'll be a fun experiment. So as we're waiting, I'll, of course, take a moment to ask you guys, who do you think is actually going to win tomorrow? Do you guys go in the Cyril camp, or do you go in the Francis camp? Consequently, do you go in the Figgy Smalls camp, or are you somebody who is rooting for... I mean, dude, every time he comes out with the hearts, I just always want to root for him. Brandon Marinho, every time I see a Lego, I think of this kid. He is crushing it on people wanting to root for him. Oh, I should also mention this. If you guys give us a like and a share on your social media, meaning if you take our stream and you tell people to tune in and you tag us on it and I see it, please be sure to tag us. We will give you a toast, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. And I got to tell you, I do enjoy toasting people. I do enjoy saying nice things about you, promoting your brands, complimenting you, because it doesn't happen a lot. If you know my friends, you know the kind of caliber of people I hang around, there are not a ton of compliments that happen. I literally just made a highlight video of one of my friends getting wrecked yesterday because I was bored, and I just thought it was funny to do. So... not above being petty and dumb. We've established that in our near 10 years of doing this show. So, just saying this. I see right here a note from Jarrett that says, Brandon Marinho has become my favorite fighter. I think he's become a lot of people's favorite. I would ask this. Why is he your favorite? Oh, boy. Well, you got Michael Sears basically on the camera, Kendall doing excellent work on the commentary so far, and the Candyman himself, Caltera. I don't know if that's going to be their official card team. That's a very interesting grouping of people, if I'm being so honest. It sounds like Michael Sears is there to be color and be silly. Caltera is probably going to break down some of the technical nonsense. It'll be a weird one. What is up, Megan? What is up, Meat Hook BJJ? I'm going to guess that the meat hookedness has to do with something in the 10th planet system. I myself was a 10th planeteer for a few years, so I do remember something to that region. But yeah. And it says, Jarrett, he's such a personable guy, and his story... getting cut from the UFC and coming back is just amazing. Alongside, he's just an amazing person. I agree with you. I think there's a lot to like of that kid. And I don't like to give myself too much credit, but I did say right before that rematch, I'm really feeling McLovin. I think Mexican McLovin is going to beat Figgy Smalls. I just got a weird feeling. seemed I was right. I see here, hey, Ref, thank you so much, Megan. And Mehook says, Party Bear gave me the nickname. Well, you know, if there's ever a human being named Party Bear that gives you any kind of nickname, it is law that you have to take it. I've read that on like a fortune cookie or something. I think. Hard to say. A lot of drunken nights. I see right here, we may have an emergence from popular item of the show. That is my dog, Lucy. Yep, she's just wandered in. She's just going to chill right underneath. And just be in a nice little cozy area for her. She's in one of her dog beds. So, good for that. Jarrett says, had that same feeling. He was 2 steps the entire fight. He really was. And I was impressed with how much he had improved. What I am interested in seeing, though, tomorrow, is my dog moving my light? Yeah, don't move the light. Dad really has bad, like, complexion, and the light really helps to make him look better. Thank you, Lucy. Yeah. I mean, that was the feeling going into the fight. I don't know what exactly we were expecting, but that's what I was bringing up. I was bringing up the fact that Henry Cejudo used to consider himself a mentor to Brandon Moreno, and now he's actually coaching Davison Figueiredo, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, is that going to make a huge difference? Zhang had better takedowns against Thug Rose, with a little bit of help from, I'm sure, Henry Cejudo. So, I don't know. Does that make an impression? Does it become even more important when you have somebody who is familiar with their game now suddenly playing the other side? It's very interesting. Nope, Luce, you're just going to come all the way throughout the whole setup here, huh? I mean, you could go in your bed. If you go to your bed, it's actually really nice. And it says, I was a purple belt, and my real name is Mihut. That is how he started at Nihil. Everyone gets a nickname. I do like that. Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. When I was growing up, that people would say, how do you say your name? And I'd be like, Raphael. And they'd be like, all right, Raphael. I'd sit there, I'd look at them, I'd try to tell them that's not how you pronounce it. I just eat it and go, okay. When I lived in Illinois and Kentucky, it was always, hey, Raphael. And I'd be like, oh, Jesus, just call me Raph. It's much easier. Woo. What is up, L. Ungdring 184? Pleasure to have you joining us here tonight. I hope that you guys are excited for who's number 1. You can tell me in the comment section who you think is going to have the best match of the night. That does not necessarily mean it will be the best performance, but you can tell me the 2 participants that you think will work together to produce the best match of the night. And it says, not such a fan of Cejudo. Cringe God. It will be interesting to see what Cejudo has Figgy working on. Don't think it'll be enough. I really wish I could tell you one way or another I had better insight on that. I just think it's going to be something that we have to experience tomorrow. You see here, I note Bryce saying Tye Ruotolo. That would be him versus Levi Leary Jones. Levi is... I was going to say what a beast he was, but I forgot that he's also going by Xanadu God. It's just... You know when you interview somebody, they go off and they do stuff, and you go, oh, Levi, it's so good seeing you, man. You're crushing it. You're killing it in the gi. A few months later, you check back in with them. They've won 100K. They rap on the streets in rap battles. I think they have their own clothing line. He says things in response to, why are you calling yourself Xanadu God? Well, when you really think about it, I am the Xanadu God. No, that's not an explanation. You just repeated the name Xanadu God when we're asking you, what does it mean? So that should be interesting to see. However, having given him some shit and seeing him go part-time Kanye and all this thing, I'm very excited for it. That young man is an incredible grappler and a friend of the show, as is Tye, if we're being honest. So we're going to have to take Switzerland's approach on that one. But yes, thank you for that note there. But to your point, though, Jared, yeah, I don't know, man. The hard part about Cejudo is that he has learned how to keep his name in the press. So that even now he has some favorable press in his trying to re-jump back into the line. So I understand that athletes should have the option to take time off for their mental health. That's fine. That dude was quitting in his prime. And really, when you've accomplished as much as he has, it is your want to do. The hard part about the UFC, though, is that it still felt like, well, okay, you didn't do a ton as champ. And if we're being honest, that fight with him and Mighty Mouse, that's pretty close, y'all. So to say that you were a super dominant champ and that you deserve to come back in and jump in, yeah, you defended a couple times. Yeah, we're all partial to wanting to give Dana shit and giving him a headache. And I'm sure dealing with you is a headache. But if you come back and you say that you want more money, try it. The problem is you get headlines because they seem to be sympathetic. They want to go against Dana as well. But I don't know that you draw. You made a division slightly more interesting by being a giant, what's the word? Tool? Yeah, that seems like a good one. But I don't know that that's enough to put a responsibility on Dana to have to bring you back. It seems like that division is doing just fine without him. So there's that. What's up, Abel? So those are some general feelings about that. I know that I saw a lot of people being like, oh man, he's getting screwed over. And I go, I really don't care. Yeah, that one's not going to hurt me. I think we'll be just fine. It should also be noted, though, that Levi Larry Jones beating Ali Taza at that last event was very nice. That is a big telling sign because Taza is fucking no joke, dude. What's also no joke is watching Caltera without sound. It sounds like he is in a silent film and that no one has told him that people will not be able to hear his words. Just from this approach. Of course, that's what happens when you turn the sound off. But yes, that is one that I'm looking forward. But do you guys have Cyril or do you have Francis? Because he answered the flyweight one. Dope. I'm there with that. But what about the big boys? Big guys need love too. And it's didn't he almost get arrested in Mexico? Who hasn't? What is up, Elton John Wilkes Boof? It says, oof, I'm going Francis. Yeah. I don't know, man. Somebody put up a meme, and I'll actually share it. Let me make sure that this is properly on here. The last time I did this setting, it didn't. Nope. We are back there. Okay, so I see this now. I saw this very funny meme, and I'll read you the gist of it, but it's one that cut to my core. And I think that those of you who will see it on the main broadcast will understand. It says UFC 270 breakdown. Grappling, Cyril. Striking, Cyril. Conditioning, Cyril. Fight IQ, Cyril. Cyril is so much better than Ngannou. That being said, Ngannou by third round TKO. I think that properly sums up the amount of anxiety that I have. Because as much as I want to be like, oh, it's in the bag, Cyril should probably knock him the fuck out. I have concerns. I don't know, man. Having said that, I really like Cyril, so I don't know. I guess that's something we're just gonna have to see play out in real time. But yeah, it'll be fun. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be at Strength and Mobility. Oh, good lord. Why is everybody trying to do backflips now? This is unnecessary. Like, learn to pass guard. And it says, when you get into that weight class, seeing a third round is a miracle. That's true. That's true. There are a lot of very, very bad scenarios. Ooh, man. Okay. Oh man, Pedro Marinho and that guillotine, it is death. My man, that's one of the best photos I think I've seen for any of our guests. That possessed guillotine that he's got, and like seeing him bulge out on like 5 different veins. It's also very fun to see people who are on the card in different regions um, show themselves getting tapped in other ones. So you see David Garmo getting tapped by Pedro Marinho, and I'm like, oh, are they? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on this card too. He's taking on Jacob Couch. So that'll be fun. The people, they love the Jacob Couch. I think it might be time for us to interview him. Let's see what happens. It's hard to tell. We have not heard back from the Daisy Fresh guys, but you know, if we're being honest, it's not like they lack coverage because they have been profusely covered by Flow Grappling. One of the few things that Flow has done a very excellent job on building new talent. Most of their talent that they get, you kind of already know who they are. Or, and this is controversial, they became popular elsewhere. So I always appreciate when they give due props to new and emerging talent. What is up, Jay Rennick? Good to see you, man. I hope everything's well, dude. Haven't seen you in a minute. If memory serves me right, we should be well past the point when the show should be starting. So are they counting this as the show? This waste time bullshit is not it, fam. I have to pack up equipment later on tonight. I was told that this thing was going to start at 5 p.m. I was about ready to go, and then I put it on hold so that I could be here for the main card because I thought I'd be in and out by about 8 p.m., but it looks like we're here for the long haul. What's up, Raph? Can't hear you for some reason. Uh-oh, that's not good. Did my earbuds cut out? Can you guys all hear me on the stream? Or do I just need to tell our man here, Jay Rennick, BJJ, to turn up his volume? Could be an issue. If it is an issue, I apologize, and I'll just take the earbuds off. But this is supposed to get you a little bit sweeter sound. But we'll see. Megan says that she can hear me. Okay. It's good to know. And I think all of you on the mainstream should be able to hear me as well. So hopefully that will not be a problem for the rest of y'all throughout the evening. Because again, we haven't seen any from the main card yet. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a countdown clock. Is Nikki Rod running from USADA in the back, or is the Xanadu God in the middle of getting into a rap battle on the streets? Because, just saying, y'all. I think it might be until at least 6:30 that we see something go forward here. I can tell you this, though. Kendall has been an excellent addition to the Flow Grappling commentary team. I have appreciated her insight. She's not only current enough to be able to commentate on things from a modern athlete's perspective, but she has a very nice and friendly demeanor. She's personable. I think it makes a world of difference for when we are watching something for a long period of time. So I hope that they continue to put her on more and more of these events. However, I would also love for them to start. This will serve me right for being prepared. I have been vamping for 27 minutes. Vamping is an industry term for most basically stalling, if you would. Because y'all, I would have been doing fucking laundry if I knew this was the case. I got shit to do. Anyway, I'll take more of your questions if you got them. I do want to point out some of these things are also interesting. I wonder if they force them to use the computer that has all of the Flow Sports and wrestling insignia on them. It's like, oh, I have a laptop that I can use. No, does it have flow stickers on it? Because if it doesn't have flow stickers, you can't put it on TV. You son of a bitch. I'll tell you this much. I'm very excited to go this weekend, get a little bit of training. I don't know about you guys, but we've done some new episodes this week. A couple weeks ago, we did a live chat with an audience about our goals for 2022. And I said that one of the things I'm working on this year is to get more ride time while taking the back. Looking forward to doing that a little bit more. But this week we asked about recovery, and I thought we got some great answers, including responses from friend goon of the show, one Gary Tonin. So I think that'll be very interesting. What's up, CJ? Speaking of training this weekend, I wonder if I will see this young man training over at Milton Arguello's Mixed Martial Arts Academy at the open mat. I will be there tomorrow. That is starting at 11 a.m. Look at this. Tezos. I don't even know what this is. Designed to evolve, built to power. What the fuck does that mean? I think I should probably look up what Tezos is. They're saying that Tezos is sponsoring this, and they kept awkwardly inserting it on their Instagram post. Oh, is it a crypto thing? Oh, okay. Okay, good for them. Yeah, everybody needs a crypto now. It says, what up, bro? Not much, man. Just sitting here watching a grappling event, waiting for it to happen. It's been 30 minutes of them not doing a single thing on camera other than just telling us how excited they are. And granted, you should do that on a show for about a good 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes should be max. If you ever look at the UFC, they wait for about a good 10 minutes, make sure you just got the pay-per-view, you're all excited to be there, you're at your buddy's place. But when they said that they were going to start at the 15 mark, you knew that was a lie, because why the fuck would you start something at that weird of a thing? Oh, God. It looked like this announcer who was out in the center of the mats took one of Bruce Buffer's old jackets, but not that he wore, that his mom wore, and this perpendicular fucking bow tie. It's not it, fam. Nah. The weird-ass floral pattern on that thing, too. Handkerchief is money. Good for him. This dude's also wearing, like, essentially what looks like an infinity ring on the middle finger here. So I think that this event is taking place in the actual Flow Arena, a.k.a. The Flow Grappling headquarters. And it looks like they're starting this event off with one Mikey Musumeci and Senor Martinez. So that'll be interesting to note. If you're watching on the main broadcast, you will see it up here letting us know that this is the match that we are currently watching. If you're watching on Instagram, I don't have those tools because they don't really make them. If they did, I'd have them. Can almost guarantee that. Otherwise, I got to probably pull out, a notepad and just go, just so you know what match it is. I think it's actually a good idea. It's a good investment of my time. While we are wasting time waiting for them to get their shit together. Nope. Hey, part of my laundry's done. That's how you can tell. We've been waiting here forever. Yay. All right, but this will be their first match. Martinez, Musumeci, they're coming in. How do you know that? How would you ever know? It's almost impossible to keep up unless someone were to be smart enough to come up with a way, a branding, if you would, on the Instagram. And you know what? I am that guy because I am resourceful. What is up, Alan? Oof. This feed got real slow all of a sudden, so they also better get their stuff together. Because I ain't having it, fam. Not tonight. Not here. Oh, it's backwards. God damn it. No. The best laid plans. Look, if you can read it backwards, I feel like I'm sending you guys code on this thing. Martinez and Musumeci. If you're watching on here, you know my struggle. I tried, everybody. What are you talking about? Tonight we're watching Who's Number One, but I am talking about the fact that Instagram does not have the same tools that allow me to tell you guys which of the fights they are currently on or matches they are currently on for Who's Number One. So I tried to come up with a ghetto-ass version of it, but my phone, in order to do this, has to go backwards. So that is a selfie. So, womp womp. It does look like Mikey is on his way out, otherwise known as Darth Rigatoni, looking especially focused as he makes his way out. He's already asking for his first hug of the evening. It's very interesting to see where he goes competitively with his mindset, because you do see him become a different person than the way he is when he is on the microphone and talking after the match. But the tale of the tape is going to be that both of these gents are very different in size. Mikey Musumeci, 5'7". Esteban Martinez is 4'11". He is known as the Giant Slayer. He is also 28 to Mikey's 25. Mikey immediately sits to guard, opens, and invites him to try and pass here, which is already proving to be problematic as Mikey has a hold of a leg. He might be trying to hit that Mikey lock, but he doesn't quite get it. God damn, dude. This Esteban is basically trying to utilize those jumping backflip passing attempts, which have proven very, very fruitful for him in the trials formats. But I don't know that Mikey is the one that you can do this to. Mikey already looking for a knee bar again. Rechambers, gets over through the saddle, may have a figure four here. Looks like he is going for that Mikey lock again, otherwise known as a compromised knee bar. The difference is, Esteban, he does have his leg in trouble, but here's what is redeeming about him is that his legs are not very long. So it may be one of the few advantages you will have going into somebody when you know that Mikey Musumeci is going to try and hit that. And I see over here it says, I am going for the Mexican jumping bean that can. I think we all are. I love this kid. Yup. He basically just tried to cartwheel his way into passing guard and found his foot compromised yet again. But watch how even the struggle to maintain it for Mikey is very difficult because of the positioning of where the leg ends up. Mikey, every time he resets to try and take that leg away, he ends up finding it's not enough. Like just a little bit of retracting of the leg makes it so that you can not be submitted here. So it's a 15-minute match. And this is interesting because Esteban already had a difference in opponent. So unfortunately, his original opponent not able to compete here tonight. They were able to get the champ of the division, one, Mikey Musumeci, to come on in and get in a match for himself, which is great because if you're going to have a match against anybody, why not go up against the guy who is getting all the excitement? Now look at this. Esteban had his arm in trouble, left it on out for Mikey to attack, and that was maybe one of the better attacks that we've seen from Mikey in terms of plausibility. What is up, Kelvin? What is up, Carmbrar? If I'm saying that right, don't know. But the way that Mikey's going to have to beat him is, I really do feel like he's going to have to try and take this kid's back. I feel like the arms, the legs, a little too short. He could be armbarred. I think I could see that. I think Mikey could go back to old school. But one of the things that Mikey gets very fixated on when he is doing these competitions is he likes to try and make points. He is that good of a jiu-jitsu practitioner that he will come in with a stated purpose so that he can try and push that off because he'll then tell you that he has been working on it. I don't think he's lying, but I just think that's a high degree of difficulty. It says, fun fact, little dude wears extra small in kids and it fits loose. JK. Yes, that is why we do not pay you for the joke writing here, Abel. But fortunately, your jiu-jitsu is good enough where I cannot make fun of you for too long. And wouldn't you know it, Mikey is working to take the back right now. It is 11:34. He does not have hooks in, but this has never stopped him before. He's trying to cinch in the right leg. I think he might be able to do it. Esteban, I wouldn't say is necessarily doing anything particularly great to get out of it. Mikey now brings the leg over. It could go into a triangle, but instead he has to abandon it and goes right back to securing with one hook the position to continue riding on the back. Now he has both hooks are in. Esteban is going to work to get his back on the mat. Does not get it. Mikey scrapes him back overneath. That is a dangerous fucking grip that Mikey has there, by the way. Esteban basically, if he wanted to, would have a little bit more leeway to try and get out here, but body triangle on his lower region of the body is definitely making things a little bit miserable for him. He's trying to just get back up, almost zombieing his way through. But now this is going to be Mikey's world. This is going to be allowing him to attack from a very bad position for a long period of time. 10 minutes with this back position. I know we saw Esteban go through a number of really bad spots over at the ADCC trials, but Mikey is trying to go underneath the arm to get a rear naked choke. This is not nothing. Between that and the squeeze on that body triangle, this might be enough to just make you feel uncomfortable. And as Mikey starts to sift it in, who turned off the fucking lights? What in the name of Bray Wyatt or The Undertaker is happening over at Flow Grappling? Whoever is next to that light switch needs to get fired. Esteban is wincing, but he's wincing with that look of, I don't know, man, maybe I can do this still. Mikey continues to ride on the back. Esteban is getting up. This is a dangerous position because if you just get too lenient here, you leave your neck exposed. I do not think that Esteban can do what is either the front roll escape out of it. You didn't see the light problem? Oh, it happened. It definitely happened. And maybe I'm a few seconds ahead of you. We are at the 9:07 region on my clock. But you were seeing Mikey now still trying to get a little bit of control on the back. He's lost it. Now is his feet crossed. Esteban trying to toss him over. He still is holding on to the top portion of the torso and manages to get out. Excellent work there by Esteban Martinez, who will get his first opportunity to really try and pass Mikey's guard, which already regarded very, very quickly. What is up, my BJJ is okay. It is excellent to see you. 8:28 on my clock right now. Mikey not only reguards, but gets a body triangle from inside of the guard. Esteban, I wouldn't say that he's wincing because I do not want to editorialize, but I will tell you, Mikey getting one underhook on that knee seemed like it would be the beginning of the end of something new there, but instead, Esteban very quickly and Tasmanian Devil-like. So you go Mexican Jumping Bane. First of all, racist. I go Tasmanian Devil. That's just my thing. Abel. But right now, this is some of Esteban's better moments in the match. And again, he keeps leaving that leg out. I think it's just a part of the body mechanic. Mikey trying to omoplata here could be problematic. You would think that you would have more of the leg that would be protected here. Mikey now going for a heel hook. Esteban just retracts the foot. I don't want to take anything away from Martinez, but I will say a number of these positions are benefiting not just from his movement, which is very impressive, but the body composition that he has, I think makes it really hard to submit him from a number of positions. That was something that you did see over at ADCC, and it was very, very interesting throughout that broadcast to commentate on for a number of different people. I would love to see how Martinez evolves in his guard passing, because what you see right now is the difference between a black belt guard and where Esteban is in his journey of passing. It's not quite the same, but it has wonderful flourishes. So all the things that Mikey can do to rechamber are excellent tricks that are just within his system. And then even when it looks like Esteban is going to go on the offensive, he's trying to get a heel hook here, and you would feel probably better about it in a number of different positions, but Mikey does not look phased. 6 minutes And 16 seconds are left to go in this match, which oddly has, I wouldn't say gone exactly the way that we thought necessarily it would, but compelling in its own weird AF way. Mikey now goes to guard, tries to get a shoulder crunch, is not getting it, but it is stopping Martinez from moving, which might as well be good enough. With the body triangle from inside of guard, still crunching down on it with space to give. Mikey now grabs around the back of the head, pulls him down like a koala, reaches underneath Martinez's left leg. Martinez retracts and falls further into ground, back with his knees on the mats. What is up, Alejandro T22? Good to see you, sir. Ooh, nice sweep, though, by Mikey Musumeci, but he does not pull it off completely. Legs still compromised, in trouble, and it does look like Martinez, to capitalize on this moment, puts in more pressure from inside of the guard with just a forearm of justice. I would say this. I mentioned about the relative difference in experience. So, whereas Mikey definitely, I think, has a lot more of a seasoned approach, Martinez is essentially all of us. And maybe, just from the look of this, the best of all of us who watch this sort of thing from home, who go, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to see if I can do this. So, much props to this kid. To still be in there with Mikey Musumeci, who is a top-tier talent, is something to behold. So, even if he takes him to a draw, and there really is no winner, even though they'll make an official decision, which will be very lame, it is still something very, very impressive to see. Miriam just asked a question, which is when Pedro is playing. Pedro is playing probably in another hour and a half, conservatively, if we're just being honest. Pedro, again, is a friend of the show, as is Craig, so we have to be a little bit of a Switzerland on this one. But he should be on a little bit later, so hopefully we get to see us stick around and watch some more of the grappling with us, because we will be commentating on everybody else's matches. 3:43 left to go. And I have to say, there's something very impressive about those people who, when they are going to work, people like Martinez don't just do anything in there. It's like they throw every single one of the warm-ups into their competition here. So that's what we're going for. Martinez looks like he wants to try and attack this leg, but he isn't doing much with it to secure any kind of necessarily strong grip. He is holding and seemingly trying to just bend it through sheer attrition and will. Mikey taking the moment to, while intrinsically trapped with a footlock of his own, he is cranking on a heel hook, but Martinez, again, almost no leg to attack. No, Mikey still keeps trying to go for that Mikey lock. I think what will be very interesting is if Martinez wants to release a DVD of his own, which is countering the Mikey lock. It'll mostly be short. Best defense so far I've seen. Is he trying to Mikey lock Mikey? Because if you are, props to you. What is interesting, though, is look at the underhook that Mikey has to prevent him from having any real trying kind of pressure being applied here. And in return, Mikey, who knows this position, takes the back of Martinez one more time with 2 minutes left to spare. Now, this has again been some of Mikey's best moments from the back. And as you see, Esteban is trying to stand back up. Mikey does go off to the side ever so slightly. And he wants to still very, very systematically shake him off. And he does. 140 left to go. Tries to just do some sort of flying nonsense. Does get past the legs ever so slightly. And then straight back into guard. Pushes down on it. Spins back around. More flying nonsense. So really what we got to be looking at here again. Yes, backflip again. We don't need to put Esteban Martinez versus Mikey Musumeci, we need to put him against Rey Mysterio Jr. This is the only way at this point, in my humble opinion. Both of them move around so much that we might as well just give them both the opportunity to just try and hit 619s through random foreign objects that are thrown into the mats. Someone trying with just kind of like a makeshift knee bar. It's better. There is a slight bend on Mikey's legs that keeps it from getting too flattened out in that position. So I do not think he has much to worry about there. And of course, that Nick Salas over on Mikey Musumeci's side, doing his best he can. At this point, Esteban is just spinning around. Yep, spinning around into a backflip. Foot over, trying to reap, going into that leg crunch position one more time. There's 7 seconds here. Maybe now trying a toe hold, which, who knew, might have actually been one of the keys to beating him. And this is one of the few times that you see Martinez trying to retrieve the leg. They come up. There is a nice shaking of the hand, and Mikey is greeting him. It does look like Mikey will pick up the decision. Though it's very strange, because Mikey was more efficient. It's just, I do have an appreciation. Oh, he did also have the back. We should note that. We had the back. Worked from guard very, very efficiently. But we should note there, though, not for nothing, Martinez was the one that was actually doing most of the trying to pass. So I have to give it to that kid. You know, even though you didn't win, you didn't really lose here, kid. And if anything, it's for his belt. Michael Sears now goes over to Mikey Musumeci, tells him to point at the camera with the belt. So good reminder there, press row. They're probably going to talk to him. I don't think he's going to call him trash. So I think we're okay on missing out some of the things that he's saying. But Abel, you say good match. I would agree with you, sir. I would also ask those of you watching, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, give us a like and a share over on Facebook. You can also catch us on our YouTube. Give us a share on that, whatever you got, your social media, your Twitter, your Twitch, wherever you want to go and tell people to watch us. But if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air, just like we do for those fighters who get finishes within regulation. Unfortunately, in this instance, there was no fighter that got a finish. It's kind of been the story of the night thus far in, so there will not be a cheers for the moment. That could change, everybody. Just remember, things are fluid on this broadcast. There is a lot of shit still left to go on this broadcast. Looks like there's still going to be about 5 more matches left on the broadcast. So don't go anywhere. Let me see if there's anything of note in this conversation that they're having. I might have actually gone back too far. I did. Shit. Went back too far, kids. Let me see if this will... This is how you can tell this thing's such a pain for all of your apps. I'm watching it over off of my iPad, and this thing is so case sensitive. It's basically yelling at me. I think I have to back out of this and then re-enter it to get us on the live chat. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought about that match. Abel obviously telling us that he enjoyed it, thought it was a pretty good match. I would agree with him. It was better than it was supposed to be. And as noted, it is kind of an upgrade for Esteban to get Mikey to show up as the replacement. Most times, replacements don't involve an actual champion finding his way into the conversation when we're mostly looking for other contenders to prove, who's number one. So this is Mikey now saying some words. And I think they're in the process of asking him what compelled him to do this. I really wish that Halti would do more of looking at the camera. He looks more at the off screen. So if you're doing an interview with somebody and you look over to the side, it's hard to do. But even if you have the feed over to the side, you should have the ability to be able to talk to that person while still talking to the camera. Tough to do. I know. And Mikey is now just saying he just wants to get better at stuff. Mikey was also saying that he felt like he should have gotten the finishes from the back, but he really, really wanted those legs. Again, I don't know that many of us have training partners who can replicate that 411 size. I think that is a significantly different sort of beast. And he's doing the meme thing of this because Italian hands, because blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, that was interesting, kids. That's part 1 of 6 matches. So we can go ahead and knock that one out. If you guys are watching on this broadcast, we say thank you. It is a pleasure to have you. My name is Rafa Sparza, host of a little show that we like to call here the Grappling Hour. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a UFC 270 fight companion with our good friends over at Strength and Mobility. It is going to be a good time. I hope that you guys can make plans to join us. But coming up next right now, we have Jacob Couch, and we also have David Garmo going up against each other in just a few seconds. And these promos are a little maybe too on the nose. So I think he is referred to as the Hillbilly Hammer. And in his NWO-like little promo vignette here, he was given a hammer to yield. Because maybe we didn't understand the symbolism of his name. Hard to say. Either way, it's coming up next. Does look like introductions are going to be made. I'd also like to give a shout out to our friends over at Hop Merchants. Hop Merchants is one of the places that I go to get my beer. These guys take care of me. They always give me great informed decisions about the beer that I'm about to pick up. And I'm telling you this, they're not even an official sponsor of the show, but they just always make sure that I leave with good beer. I have good conversations with them. I love the fact that even on this Sunday, they are going to have a Hot Ones challenge where people who come to the bar can try the different sauces that people actually eat on Hot Ones. They themselves, even though you can pick 4 and you can pick any 4 you want, so it's not like they're forcing you to do the bad stuff that really hurts. They give you the opportunity to do what you feel or what you want to try out, and I think that's great. But they themselves are actually going to be doing the Hot Ones challenge. So they're going to do the 10 sauces in the one night, and I think, yikes. So, what's up, Steven Rosales? Good to see you, my brother. I hope things are well. It is interesting how this one will play out. You got Couch, you got Garmo. Garmo gets the second walkout on this one, usually reserved for the person with a little bit more prominence. But, yeah, man. Garmo's always had a powerful mustache, dude. I have to give him props for that. That facial hair is very, very clean. And it does look like he's given props to his coach there tonight, and he makes his way on over to center the mats. What is up? Thank you guys for joining in. Feel free to tell us any comments, thoughts that you have in the comment section. I think they mixed these up. Okay, yeah, they did. Because I was like, David Garmo is not 6'0", and he is also not 22. No offense. If he's been 22, he's been 22 for a few years in a row. But there we go. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. Jacob Couch is 22. I mean, his jiu-jitsu is very, very mature, so it's hard to get that in your head sometime. What's up, Heisenberg? Good to see you. Hope that you are enjoying some Who's Number One action here tonight. Meanwhile, we are waiting for the finals, aka the main event. That will come up in a little bit. I see a note here from Steven Rosales as David Garmo does try to do a duck under, doesn't quite successfully hit it, reverses back, and now the two of them are circling yet again. It says, man, I'm trying to watch these, but no flow and at work, so I'll be here. That is what we do. That is actually one of the reasons we are in existence. Flow be expensive, y'all. It's too much money. And, they don't really offer you an individual price point for these things. So you just end up having to suck it up and pay for a yearly subscription when most of us don't want to get it for a year. I will tell you, as compared to, what is it, Netflix, Hulu, you don't even pay that much for them, but you get libraries of content. Here at Flow, it's like, yo, here's an event every 2.5 months. Money, please. So, they're that. Just a minute and a half into this match thus far. Just a little bit of wrestling exchanges, but I think these gents are probably going to pace themselves. 15 minutes is a very long time to grapple with somebody. I don't know if you guys have ever had a match go 15 minutes, or a roll, or anything to that extent. So, if you are going at a high caliber, you will definitely tire yourself out very quickly. And speaking of tiring yourself out quickly, one of the people with the best cardio presences that I know, one, Eric Medina, gracing us in the comment section. Hello, Eric. Good to see you, sir. The Darce Knight is going to be opening up the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club out in the Valley. If you guys are looking for a place to train, I would highly recommend you go to visit them. We'll have more information. You'll probably see an interview about that new emergence. We're very spoiled here in Southern California. You can always have great training, and there's a number of people who give you great training. But I think that Medina, for my money, is one of the true Jedis that does a great job with kids and has the kind of wrestling and jiu-jitsu acumen that will put your kids on the right path. So if you're looking for a place to train, definitely go check them out. LA Jiu-Jitsu Club 2.0. Looking forward to seeing it and visiting myself, actually. Jacobs tried to pull guard aggressively twice here. The first time was that jump of guard on Garmo. Garmo didn't really waver on any part of it, but the second one was a little bit more of a subdued pull of guard. Now he has a body triangle from inside of that guard. I'm very interested to see how he and Mikey have gone out of their way to pull in to guard in that sense. Darce Knight says, we're making wrestling and BJJ champs. The Champion Factory will be open soon. Beautiful to know, beautiful to see. I've already seen some photos of how it looks, and just from the design of it already, it's very nice, and I'm very happy for Eric. Eric he's a workhorse, man. Like I said, there aren't many Jedis in this world. You have a lot of competitors, a lot of beasts, few people who really go this way, because this is the way. I thought for a second here that Jacob Hammer was actually going to try and slap him, because I go, does he know this isn't combat jiu-jitsu? These collar ties are, I wouldn't say borderline, but they could easily work their way into some nice slaps. Speaking of which, it is great that EBI is going to fucking return, because it has been far too long since we have seen the EBI OG format. I think it's about that time. Hammer, again, this is very interesting to see the parallels between him and Mikey. Both of them from that Daisy Fresh brand, if you would. But they've been very good about getting that body triangle from inside of guard while also trying to underhook one of the legs as they transition. They use that as almost like a pendulum to swing into getting that underhook. It's a very interesting thing that you don't just see done for no reason. What is up, Arturo Reyes? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining along with us. We're just watching us some Who's Number One. Still struggling to figure it out after all this time. So far, though, we have discovered the closest person that we believe could be number one is Tezos. Because technically, they're the ones that have been put before all the insignia. Not just who's number one, it's Tezos's presents Who's Number One? Jones, Marinho. Or as we put on our broadcast, presented by Grappling Hour, because we just wanted an extra subcolon. Yeah, okay, so we might be in this guard position for a little bit, and not for nothing, because Jacob is trying to do something from inside of this guard. The problem is, if he just lets his guard down, pun intended, he might just open up the opportunity for Garmo to pass. And if it's going to be this close of a match, you might be thinking this could go to a decision. But Jacob looks to isolate the arm, thinks about a shoulder crunch, would be very interested to see if he can pull it off. Somebody as seasoned as David doesn't necessarily strike me as somebody that would get caught with this, but Jacob is incredibly strong, already starting to move the legs in a little bit of a manner that leads me to believe he does pull this off a little bit. He is trying to sift up with a little bit higher of the left hand being brought up to grab that foot to now. Well, I think now he's at the koala stage. He's lost the grip on the arm. Maybe. Oh, God. Please don't clip this part. As it does say couch and Garmo, and you just see me violently sleeping. I get it. It is hard to put this into exciting language because what you're really seeing now was 2 minutes of pushing each other around for the wrestling. Now just almost 6 minutes of guard work. It's not always the most exciting. Oh, Garbo almost comes in with a push there. What is up, Grappling Monkey? What is up, my brother? Good to see you. Hope that you make it up to LA to come train soon. We got plenty of places for you to come train. It says, oh, I got here right on time. Yes, you did. The beer is not fully taking its way all the way through, and the match is not boring. We're doing our best not to say that. But I'm also yelling a lot, and it's not on purpose. It probably just means I need more caffeine. Oh! Jacob Couch getting the heel hook finish. At 7 minutes, Garmo in transition does lose this match. But the Hillbilly Hammer proving that he can continue his winning ways. Now, here's what happened. This is the big talk. This is how you know Flo gets paid the big bucks. They brought up the fact that Mikey has never had a Mountain Dew. So this is the compelling narrative we're getting. Like, if he wins, we're going to give him a Mountain Dew. Watch that live on Flow Grappling. Okay. This is where we're at then. Okay. I feel like Larry David sometimes here, people. Just, okay. Okay. I don't need this. Okay. But we'll hear Couch talk a little bit about the submission he got on Garmo, which beautifully done. The timing of it was really good, and Garmo didn't waste any time tapping to that, so I do have an appreciation for that. Grappling Monkey, you asked a question, which is, what do you think about the return of EBI? I did address that a few minutes ago, actually, and I said it's about time because, listen, dude, we need it back. It's just, it was too annoying watching some of these other lesser versions of this. Oh, he's drinking a Mountain Dew Code Red himself. And he just chugged the shit out of that. So he's putting over the false reap, which good for him. And he said that he was worried about Garmo getting on his head because he's like a little koala bear. Okay, I will tell you this. I will fall asleep to Hal's line of questioning. That's a real thing. What's up, BJJ Empire? Good to see you. Yeah, there's something weird about the way that they have this this branding for these two different feeds. So they have one where Jacob Couch is being asked questions. Obviously, things are hard to set up. I've done this myself. But instead of having a camera feed just slightly above the actual camera that they're filming him on, they have it up here, so it looks like he's doing a slight prayer. It's just like, oh, Hal, I just got to tell you, man, this has been a really exciting day. What's that, Lord? The Lord's Prayer now. Meanwhile, Hal Teague is looking over to the side like this. Oh, God. This is terrible. That was not worth any of my time. But you know what is worth my time? What is up? Santosh Karmotai. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry about that. Just bastardized it. But also giving some love to the Walking Dojo. That's a great name, actually, the more I think about it. So props to you. Brianna Ste-Marie and Tubby coming up next. But in the time that we've got you, before we get to the next match, let's go over a few things. Number one, we give toasts to those who get finishes within regulations. That means the athletes that get finishes will get toasted on this program. We do a nice little cheers to them. Now, having said that, there was just a finish. We really haven't had too many of those tonight, so we will do that. But before I do it, I just want to tell you guys, you watching and you watching, you are allowed to get toasts as well. The way it works is all you have to do is go and share this broadcast and tag us. So if you're on Facebook, give us a like and a share, and we will give you a toast on air. If you're on Instagram, show some folks over on your Instagram, tag us, tell them to come join us with a link to the broadcast, and we can do this. We'll give you a toast on air. I will do a personalized cheers for you. Yes, I will, because I am that committed to this. So here's what we got right now. This toast is going on out to Jacob Couch. Jacob, I have to tell you this, man. You have an excellent guard, a beautiful recognition of when that false reap is going to avail itself. I love the fact that you put over the false reap in your post-fight conference. I love the fact that you're talking about it, you're getting it done. And listen, kid, you really are going out of your way to make this stuff entertaining. I would love to get the opportunity to interview you. You are crushing it. And though I don't share your love of Mountain Dew, more of a Coke or Pepsi guy here, I will tell you this. I support you chugging the shit out of that Code Red the minute you finished a match. Because fuck water. Am I right? Cheers to you, Jacob Couch. Let's do an interview. Much appreciation. That submission was dope. And I see here a note here from Grappling Monkey that says, oh no, he didn't just say that. He did. If I didn't want him on the show so much, I probably would be a little bit more roasty about it. But here's what I'll say about that little thing he just pulled off. First of all, it was done with, what is it? Mikey 316 or Mountain Dew 316, whatever the hell he was peddling on that one. You don't just say something in a Stone Cold-esque reference without using the Stone Cold voice. See? You could have a good promo, but your promo could be crap, and you could still sell the best out of it, young man, but you didn't. And for that, I got to give you shit, okay? So I got to tell you, get back out there, get out there, try to put it over a few more times, and maybe grow a little hair on the little testicles there, and you might be able to pull off that. But that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Something along those lines. All right, St. Marie, Alcuin coming in right now. I like this. The weight class is part of their bullet points, and the weight class is in the tiniest of fonts. So if you know anything about Brianna Ste-Marie, she's been on the show a couple times. Beast, Medusa winner, combat jiu-jitsu winner. She is a very, very aggressive style, but even though she's from Canada, still, while polite, very intense when she rolls, very intense when she competes. And I think that W on this one, it's a very interesting match. And I would love to ask Brianna if I do get the opportunity to talk to her sooner than later, which I'm sure we will, how this match came together. What is up, Bender Martial Arts? So is that like a style bender, or is that like, oh no, I got too drunk, I'm on a bender? Because I know which one mine would be if I use the name Bender. Just saying. It says just your name. Gotcha. Okay. I feel like we might have done this question before, but also drinking. So difficult for me to remember these things sometimes because the alcohol, very delicious, but also very forgetful. 13:50 on my clock. Hopefully that is somewhere in the region of what you are in as you are watching this as well. I'll say this. Alcuin is already trying to invert, going for a leg. Ooh, almost looked like she was able to secure it, but Ste-Marie doing an excellent job of keeping her balance, keeping her weight down. Now she just needs to be careful of getting that leg out, but she is almost going in for a knee bar of her own as she was sliding out of that bad position. Brianna is also excellent with her patience. One of, I think, her most disarming qualities is her ability to wait out a bad position. And for a split second, Tubby would look like she was trying to attack a leg. Brianna almost looking to invert, go into her own submission, not getting it, but there looked like there's a little bit of a hold. And for a split second, Ste-Marie was wincing, but I think it was just a small position. Instead, using it as bait to try and take the back, but reaps over the leg, may have a knee bar here, does not go for it. Will probably elect to come back up as a result. Interesting play between these two ladies to begin with. So, 12:26. And already you get the sense that this is a better matchup than maybe ones that we've seen in terms of style and aggressiveness kind of matching. I think it'll be similar to what we see with Elder Cruz and Nikki Rod, because I think Elder does have good wrestling. He has been a problem for a number of people. Nikki now has gotten to this place where even though jiu-jitsu is relatively newer to him, he's not a slouch. He is very disarming with how good his jiu-jitsu is and how good he is at utilizing his natural athleticism while also really, really, really intelligently knowing where to put the body to just fucking make everything hurt. So, that. Feel free to drop us some comments in the comment section here, people, because as it is, we might be at a little bit of a standstill. Tubby having a very nice guard that is proving to be slightly problematic. It's going to keep Brianna Ste-Marie at bay for ever so slight moments in this match. And you're seeing that Brianna's trying to pull down on this leg because it is proving to be a difficult knee shield to get around. I was actually just training with somebody this week, a friend of the show, who I've never had the opportunity to train with, but his guard was damn near impassable. They had a king of the mat sort of style format that went on for about 30 minutes, and I did not see that man leave the main position for 30 minutes. It was something to behold. So, ooh, nice sweep there by Tubby, though. Excellent work, but goes right back to playing inside of her guard. It's an open guard, and Brianna now may have some traction on the leg. She used it to push the leg and pull it. Falls back like she wants to try to attack it, but Tubby has her eyes set on trying to attack Brianna Ste-Marie's leg. If I am making a guess, Brianna detaches herself very quickly, comes back over on top, but that left leg of Tubby has been very, very effective at keeping her at bay. 9 minutes, 52 seconds still to go in this match. So, judging by how they're playing this one so far, we might be here for a little bit here, friends. So, get used to it. Brianna maybe trying to just finesse her way over the legs. This is an interesting way. If you can't bypass the legs, hug the leg and then try to hug around the back of the neck. Don't hate any part of that. I think that's actually a pretty decent strategy. 9:07. Now Brianna looked like she was going in for a reap. May have the leg here. Tubby trying to rechamber, get her own leg attack here. This is good for Brianna. But Tubby is trying to counter with a little bit of a slicer. I'm assuming that Brianna has the advantage, though Tubby looks very comfortable in this position. You have to feel like she plays legs a lot. She does get back over it. Hops over the leg to try and rechamber, get her own attack. Brianna doesn't take too much of it for too long, and they switch positions. Now Brianna back up on top. A fascinating interplay between these two. So I'll tell you this much. I think the Who's Number One format can be problematic for some. It is designed to give us a kind of championship feel, pristine feel. I think that they do an excellent job at making these matchups. However, you do see a little bit of the trepidation that happens in these kind of matches where it is hard. You get somebody who you're very equally paired with. And you will notice there's not as many submission attempts. Brianna, though, trying to prove me wrong very quickly. As she tries to get a toe hold, she might have a better toe hold here than Tubby does. Ooh! Now we're just trying to see who's flexible enough. And yes, Tubby rolls out almost right into the Flow Grappling banner. And she does lose the toe hold. They will likely reset them if I am a betting person. Nope. So that was a smart move by Tubby to try and slide into a better position. I don't know what the fuck Tubby just took off. I thought it was her anklet. I was like, can you do that? Can you just get rid of your color anklet and be like, I don't want to wear this anymore. It's not my style. Could you imagine being like, I only wear Prada anklets. Thank you. What is up, Calvin Dunn? Hope that you're enjoying your evening. A tepid so-so Who's Number One to begin the night. But still, after this match, 3 more matches left to go. That should be a little bit higher paced. But for right now, there isn't a lot we can 100% write home about just yet, but who knows? Brianna Ste-Marie is a beast of a competitor. I enjoy watching her compete, and I think that she is somebody to keep an eye on. Like, legitimately, she is somebody who has a very good sense of jiu-jitsu and really does try to give you a return on your investment. So there is that. Meanwhile, I'll ask this if you are watching. Let us know what it is you would like to see happen tomorrow at the UFC 270 Grappling Hour Fight Companion. Will be on air for a long-ass time, so don't forget to mark a calendar. Be there with us. We're going to have a blast. We're going to hang out with some of our friends. Tubby looking to try and take the back, stapling the leg, trying to grab underneath the opposite side, and kind of trying to pull her in that reverse. Does not happen. Arm a little exposed, but it looks more like Tubby's trying to circle underneath. Ah, look at that. That's nice. Okay. Brianna trying to hit
a little bit of a makeshift knee bar here. What's up, Seshcast? For her own efforts right now, I think Brianna may be trying to hit her own Mikey lock. Does not get it. Loses a little bit of the leg. Tries to pull herself in a little bit closer to Tubby. Tubby scoots back. And what is the judge's favor? What the fuck does that mean? That's still the dumbest fucking rule set element of this whole thing. A judge's favor? Sounds like something ye olden time people did in wigs that we got away from. Hold up, Brianna. And with a reap, could hit a belly down footlock. Does not get it. Still has the leg. Tries to maintain some of the tension with the pressure of the little fulcrum there. Reaps on the opposite side. We may not quite be there. So, at the very least, if that is when the judges started paying attention, it would be similar to the rest of what we've seen. It would be pretty much Brianna trying to pass and trying to get the submissions. However, if Tubby passes here, that could also be problematic because then they would go to those points elements of how did it look like when you play like you're in points. Because you'll notice there are no points awarded that's trying to tell you which person is wearing the anklet that corresponds with their color, but it would be very difficult. Oh, no. Brianna knows she needs to come back up. You do not want to leave this to the judges. Legs still a little bit in danger. She has to be very careful about where her leg ends up. Brianna not losing sight for just a second, but Tubby, this is looking pretty good. However, Tubby now trying to attack the leg. What's up, Diane Hansen? And, I mean, Brianna Ste-Marie has been trying to hit this toe hold, and she is bringing those toes and wrenching the angle that Tubby has to probably acknowledge. The problem is Tubby's trying to hit her own footlock in this position, and I don't know if she has the better angle at this point. I think that if you see the trajectory of this play out, her better choice might be to try and make it a heel hook. The problem is that would require her to be able to turn around. And you will see Brianna's just trying to game her out here and keep the pressure. She has a little bit more tension, I think. For a split second, I thought that Brianna was going to try and kick down, like kick punch, if you would. Otherwise known as a kick. And that's it. It's just the tale of two toe holds here. Brianna's leg's still stuck in. They both kind of give up, except Tubby looks like maybe she wants to try to heel hook it now. It's still a little too shallow for her to do much with. And Brianna, if I'm guessing, will eke it out. Allows her to try to come on top, though, so props to her. Okay. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go. I would be nervous about this passing, even though it's looked like they've had a little bit of a disparity into who is really trying to hit the most submissions here. Brianna really has to be careful about this placement. It does look like Tubby has passed. It would be very bad, especially when we saw the sign that said, "Judges a favor." Who? That will play an important part toward the end, because then we will go, if there are no points, to the judges a favor. Yes, the queen herself has dictated it. What is up? Roger's down. 53 seconds. Tubby is still in a half guard a little bit. Any streams? Nope, not here. But I will keep you updated on what's up. So you can ask people in the chat as long as I have no real knowledge of what's going on there. Oh no, Brianna Ste-Marie's fucking bleeding right now. Shit. You can't say Mikey Musumeci is pulling out 316 stone cold quotes when Brianna Ste-Marie has bled for your entertainment on multiple occasions. Oh, that's really nice. Tubby is actually helping her clean up and is actually, that's the nicest thing I've seen on the mats in some time. Literally the best sportsmanship of the year. And we're already off to a very, very quick start to our year, but good Lord. If I'm the judges, I would take that into consideration. I'd be like, well, she helped wipe away some of her blood. Gotta give it to Tubby. What is up, El Pinche Gringo 81? Good to see you. 37 seconds. Tubby on top right now. Brianna maybe going to make one concerted effort to attack this leg. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Could be problematic. And you see Tubby trying to go to work very quickly. Again, you don't know if the judges are going to take those points more into consideration or more of the submissions, because no matter what the rules say, people get a little subjective when it is a match that is, all things considered, kind of close. And both of them are just trying to attack parts of the legs. I'm not going to say the form is necessarily bad. It's just slightly time specific. Like, they're both running against the clock, so they're just trying to like break each other's legs and go, is this anything? No? Okay. Yours ain't shit either, but this was shit, so I'm not tapping. And it looks like we're about to get a decision. And Brianna Ste-Marie gets the win. Huh. So what the fuck does this judge's favor mean? I know I should be like a better host and look up these rules, but I'm not. I think you could safely say that Brianna tried the more submission attempts. I would say, though, from the moment that they started doing the judge's favor, you did see Tubby turn it up a little bit more. So from that time on, if it was a marker, I think they might just try to weigh the fact that Brianna was trying to get more submissions. That's still a weird-ass fucking rubric if I'm even at all asked about it, which I don't technically think I am. But you're here, so might as well break it to you and tell it straight from my opinion here, folks. So let's see what they have to say. Oh, good Lord. So I think I've deduced that Howell Teague's announcing style sounds similar to a character from Moulin Rouge. Like, it's an over-articulation and pronunciation of almost every single word he is uttering. But let me see here. I got a nice note from a friend. I'll go ahead and pull this up. David, I appreciate David is sending us a very funny meme. We'll put that up in a minute for those of you watching on the main broadcast. Oh, God. Brianna obviously putting over how happy she was with her match. You know, she's just kind of happy to be there, etc., etc. So let's go to this very, very funny video that got. What's up, Secret Jiu-Jitsu Club? I love you guys. You guys support all of the best athletes. So they did just ask Brianna Ste-Marie about what it felt like to be in there, and she definitely said that she was doing some leg attacks, throwing up whatever she could, the kitchen sink, all of that good jazz. And I think she's also putting over the fact that she didn't feel like she had a ton of grip strength. For those of you watching on the main broadcast, aka any of the Facebook and YouTube versions, I would tell you this was sent to us by a friend of the show, one David Acetuno, that says, we're having fancy company, go get the fancy cups. And it's Andre the Giant and the Macho Man with Miss Elizabeth on those old school plastic cups that you used to get as a kid. And I would bust those out. Those are the shit. So Brianna is just saying I was really happy to be able to compete tonight. Good times. So Brianna, in her very roundabout way, is saying like, if it's not too inconvenient or impolite, I guess I'd like to call out the number two. But she is in an indirect way calling out Fionn Davies. So I'm with that. And so she's like, yeah, if we could do that at 135, that would be cool because I'd like to eat a little bit. And I'm with that. One of the things that makes Brianna Ste-Marie a real ass G. Good for that. Okay. Nikki Rod and Elder Cruz coming up shortly. Good time to remind you guys, tomorrow we are doing a fight companion over at Strength and Mobility. We hope you make plans to watch with us. You might be getting together with your friends. That's cool. Mute DC. What he says, not going to be good. Promise you. You can fool yourself and think, oh man, DC's going to have great analysis. He won't. He barely knows who half of these fighters are. How do I know that? Because he's admitted he's actually had research teams, which when you're on TV, you do have. But then he's like, those people were too much to pay. And it shows when he doesn't do research. Joe Rogan? Nah. He's still the standard. Unfortunately, that standard was 2005. And John Anik, not going to talk too much shit about him. I'll just say, I think that they are going to create artificial intelligence that will do John Anik's job at some point. Not saying he's a robot, but he sleeps in 011000011s. Just saying. All right. I hope that you guys are excited for this. I like both these kids. A Monstro, the Black Belt Slayer. This should be fun. And this shaky cam that they're using. Oh, I get it now. Nikki Rod was Jason from Friday the 13th. Because why? That was confusing. One might say unnecessary. I say both. But here you are. All right, kids. We're about to watch this next thing. I hope that you guys are there. Oh, look at this. Chavez Klein coming in and saying, Voy, FYI. Gracias. It says, hardest working man in jiu-jitsu, WWF, and combat sports coverage. You better believe it, my friends. There is a thing I like to tell people. Because it is okay as an athlete to say that you want to be the best in the world. But if you ever say you want to be the best podcaster in the world, people are like, you're too full of yourself. And I always think, well, no, I want to be the best at this. Why would you do it if you didn't want to be the best at it? That sounds dumb. We should all be aspiring to be the best. But when I say I want to be the best at this, it is really a challenge to other podcasters, other people who are like me. And there are a few, more now than they were a long time ago. But it's a challenge to them that's like, get on my level. Do as many of these shows. Be here. Cover the sport. Because we'd all like to, on Friday nights, do absolutely nothing. But if all of us can provide a little bit of extra sauce to these events, provide our own commentary and do our own things, maybe, just maybe, we add in those missing elements that can help, I don't know, broaden the sport. So, yeah, there is a reason why I like to say, I want to be the best in the world at this. And you don't just get to be the best in the world by not showing up. You put in the work. That's just me. God, how is it that Nikki Rod is younger than Elder Cruz? That doesn't make any sense. Did they reverse that again? I don't even know. And it says, bring back El Guapo, Bass Rutten, and Mauro Ronaldo. Dude, I miss them. Mauro's passion is unbridled, dude. I don't even think I could muster up that much energy. That man works. He works. And I got to see him commentate a Glory Live once. I was photographing it, and I was just looking at him, and I was just enthralled by his ability to tell a story. And it's intense, dude. Speaking of intense, the big talk was going to be, are these guys going to wrestle? Who's going to get the first takedown? And, I think the general consensus is that Nicky Rod has to be one of the better wrestlers. But in jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of us that aren't really good wrestlers. So if you have somebody like Elder Cruz, who's young, not afraid to mix it up, and can also be kind of aggressive in his own way, he has his own set of highlight reels, what would that matchup look like? And he's no slouch with his jiu-jitsu. So it is interesting to see how this will play out in front of us. There is 1 minute that has gone through this one, and maybe about 20 seconds now, but I think they kind of signaled that, yeah, they're going to do a lot of stand-up, but that 15 minutes is a long time, dude. You got to pace yourself. Almost with the sing leg there. Nicky Rod doing an excellent job of basing him out and putting a hand on the shoulder to keep his distance. Now Elder Cruz comes in, collar tie lockup right now. Both of them trying to lean in, create a lot of pressure down on the neck. For Nicky Rod, that is a lot of pressure to be pulling down. And yet they circle back and go straight to the center of the mats. It's also interesting because I feel like Nicky Rod has a very, very good body that includes height that gives him a differentium for so many of his opponents. But in this particular case, it almost looks like he's playing a little bit more defensively against Elder Cruz. I can't tell if he's respecting him or if he's trying to lull him in. But this attack on the neck, the amount of pressure that he keeps putting down, shows a lot of the slow play that he may be utilizing in this format. The best part about this, though, is still for all of the frontal action you are getting out of Elder Cruz, Nicky's not getting tired, per se. He's almost waiting for that perfect counter reaction here. Beautifully done. He tries to pull him back as he takes a step back. It's very, very aggressive and does seem to wobble Elder ever so slightly. But in that moment, when he tried to pull him, Elder actually leaned into it and tried to go for a shot. Interesting so far. And again, kids, there's still 11 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this match, so we gonna be here for a while. But I love that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to trademark that secret jiu-jitsu quotation, by the way. I should probably get a screenshot of it. My apologies for blocking this camera, but I'm gonna probably try to put that in there, because definitely saying jiu-jitsu, WWF, and combat sports is what I should do. If I end my broadcast by having somebody bring me a cape like I am James Brown and then look like I'm about to pass out and then come back and continue grappling or commentating, I think that's the move. All right, 11:05 still on the go. Ooh, excellent work there. Elder had a very strong grip, essentially not completely off-balancing Nicky Rod, but definitely making him have to work to regain his balance. And again, the movement of Nicky Rod is that truly, and I don't think this metaphor ever really applies, but you know when people always put like the gorilla emoji, where they're like, yeah, I feel like I'm a gorilla, and I go, actually, the person who moves most like a gorilla is going to be Nicky Rod. So there is a looseness, and I think he kind of knows that at some point the two of them will likely turn it on. Nicky now takes a slight knee as to maybe seeing what kind of reaction he'll get out of Elder, and Elder just kind of moving forward at a very consistent pace. I wonder if that's also done to maybe, just maybe, disrupt the pace and the cadence of Elder's movement, because you do get a sense of how he props himself back up so that he has just a few seconds. It's almost akin to trying to come up for air when you're swimming. You need a few seconds where your back is a little compromised, ducked under, hunched over, and then you stand back up to come up for that air and then go straight back into it. Woo! All right. The interesting thing about this match in particular, though, is you do get the sense anything can still happen. You're not out of the woods yet. Elder, actually, now at this point, tries to shift the levels as if to insinuate he might try to do something kind of crazy. He might be the one to try and get a little bit hold on, I was going to say unconventional movement, but right there, Nikki might have been showing off that he might have been playing possum for a little bit too long. The way that he was able to move Elder, it does look like he's maybe, this could be leading, but maybe he is trying to tire Elder here. This stuff definitely takes a toll on you. And I think that Nikki still feels like he can still be in this position and do what he wants to do. So, I say to you, is there a strategy behind this? Is there a belief that, yeah, he can do this for so long? It says, thank you for doing this stream. It's awesome. Well, the Walking Dojo, we appreciate you. We do Fight Companions almost weekly on this show. We're doing one tomorrow for UFC 270. We do them for a lot of the big grappling events. And because we know so many of these people and have interviewed them, sometimes we have insight that you will not hear on the main broadcast, or at least professionally discussed like you would on a professional broadcast, because we don't have professionals in this sport. Shh, don't tell anybody. See, that's the real secret jiu-jitsu. Shh, no real professionals. All right, both of these gents back up. Now, more and more pulling on the neck. I will tell you this, if you're anybody's chiropractor, you will make some good money off of this. Thank you, The Walking Dojo. I hope you like and subscribe and come back and see us all the time. We always love seeing our friends. We've been doing this so often. Took a little break, but during the pandemic, we ramped out about, a good 50, 60, 70 of these Fight Companions. We love doing them. And we love interacting with folks like yourself and all the good people. Ooh! Ooh! So get this. Nikki looked like for a split second he might have slipped. Elder rushes in, but it looked like it could have been a decoy, as then Nicky Rod swats him outside of the bounds. I see that. Secret Jiu-Jitsu. Love you. Thiago Duarte and Caleb Baca. Welcome, you guys. We're watching us some... who's number one right now? And we're now getting to a point where maybe we're going to see a little bit of how this match is supposed to play out. Nikki looks like he takes a knee as if he's going to shoot straight in on the legs. Does not get it. Elder Cruz keeping a consistent posture, but maybe, just maybe, that waning that Nikki is doing on keeping all that pressure on his neck is starting to get to him. The one thing you get the impression, though, with Nicky Rod is that even though he looks like he can do this for a long-ass time, there are some elements of frustrated aggression as he starts pushing Elder Cruz around. There's not a form to it. It's just making sure he pushes him away so that he can't rush back in. And to his credit, I know the Elder is getting tired. And again, Nikki now on both double knees, as if trying to give Elder Cruz an invitation to do something foolish. In the presser for this event, Elder Cruz did say the following. He did say he was looking for the opportunity to come and show what he can do. Yes, Nicky Rod is accomplished. Yes, he is very good at what he does, but he does not feel that he is at the top of that mountain for jiu-jitsu. He does not feel he is on the Mount Rushmore of jiu-jitsu. And as a result, he feels like maybe he can do some things to beat him. What becomes interesting is if this continues to play out for another 6 minutes, which it could, given the fact that you have two wrestlers who I don't think just for style-wise really want to say that they lost the stand-up battle. You have two people who may come with very different narratives. if this goes to a judge's decision. But that's still 5 minutes and 30 seconds away. So we've still got some match to see. And if you're like me, you're probably tired just looking at these two circle and continue grabbing around. If I'm Elder Cruz, I think this is one of the times, now that you're about 10 minutes in, everybody's a little tired, that you do that front roll into this to see if maybe that will get a reaction out of Nicky Rod. Famously, in my interview with Elder Cruz earlier this year, I think we interviewed him back in October, I told him the first time I saw him do this, which is for El Monstro, which is, I'm a monster. I told him, I was like, you looked like a bear that got caught in the woods where you're like, and I think he found that very entertaining. So I was very pleased because he is a big man and he is very scary as well. So I don't want to talk too much shit about him, but I believe we talked to him after the last subversive category. Interesting. Kind of a clash of bodies back at this point. Oh, Elder, for a split second, saw a leg, had an arm around it. Nicky Rod, very evasive, gets away from it with no time. Now we're looking at 4 minutes, 16 seconds. Two very tired big boys trying to get some kind of advantage. Elder, for all of these snatch singles, you look and you realize that Nicky Rod takes that away from him every time he goes to those double knees. Taking a single or double knee seems, again, like a little bit of a misnomer. It seems like his ability to just try and let him do whatever he wants gets reshaped every few seconds. Here's what I'll say. I know that a lot of people may not love this as much as the next person, and even wrestlers will probably call this maybe a little sloppy in all things considered. But there is something compelling about this. There is tension. There is a lot of, well, how is this story going to play out? Nobody really got an advantage, all things considered. Who touched the leg more? Was that offensive? There aren't submissions, clearly. Okay. How many times did Nicky Rod seem to back up? If Elder was being the one that was pushing the action, why is it that he was the closer one to maybe initiating most of that action? Does Nicky Rod's power come into play because of the way that he just shoves him off with aggressiveness? Does that supersede any of the action that you've seen? These questions now become part of the decision-making process. And they are, to my knowledge at least, jiu-jitsu judges who are going to have to weigh in on what has really become hijacked as a de facto wrestling event that's going on for 10 minutes. Longer than it probably should. That's the weirdest part about this situation is most wrestling events, you don't pace yourself because you are trying to kill somebody in a shorter amount of time. This one is, yeah, there is a little bit of a different story, but it is part of the reason why in 13 minutes you haven't seen a takedown. You haven't seen anybody really get a leg or a hand that's super compromised. You do wonder what kind of judges you have for this. That is where I would start to think if I was any one of these people. And Cruz, I will tell you this, man, his tired still looks pretty good. Nicky, maybe a little bit out of frustration, kind of grilling around on the floor. Looked like maybe he just saw if he could try to just ask politely to get a double leg. Last 2 minutes here, and listen, Elder is really trying to push forward. He has really tried those snatch singles, low singles. I think that we know he is definitely putting in the effort, but part of me wonders the following. If you do ask Nicky Rod what the plan or the attack was here, are you thinking that Nicky Rod was going to say, hey, maybe I would have tried to, I thought I was going to tire him out. I was going to try to get him in the last minute or so to get that takedown. Secret Jiu-Jitsu says, missing the get down rule. I would tell you, Nicky goes, tried for a double, didn't get it, denied. Missing the get down rule. Here's what I can tell you about that one, Secret Jiu-Jitsu Club. If I'm thinking the way I am, those two would probably ignore the fuck out of that rule. They'd be like, you can't tell me what to do, Eddie. We're bigger than you. and we'll just rush you like a bull. Wow. So this is what I was wondering. I was wondering if Nikki was saying, let me turn it up in the last minute. Now that I've really paced myself, let me see if I can really push myself to get this takedown. I know I'm really short on time, but this could be something that backfires. Or is this in the judge's favor moment of it? Because Elder is still pushing this action right now. Nikki, every time he takes those double knees and Elder doesn't move forward, I wonder if that is seen as a form of defensive maneuvering. Now, 18 seconds left to go. Almost with another snatch single, but he is just too tall to make it to those legs, which don't even have to sprawl. They just slightly move back. Nikki trying for a desperation attack on the legs, and the taps on the back of those thighs will let you know that, gents, we have made it all the way to the end. And even with that low single, you are already seeing a little bit of frustration and maybe some blood over on Nicky Rod's face. We're going to find out who the judges are going to give the decision win to here. And with some silence and some bated breath, I think you are going to find that Elder Cruz has received the win here tonight. What a big win for this young man. This kid is a stud, dude. Not only was he a showcase member of the Team Checkmat team that was competing over at Subversive, but he's also a beast of a competitor in the fact that tonight he comes with a huge win over Nicky Rod that I don't know that many people can say. We've seen that Nicky Rod has lost to other wrestlers. That is something that has happened when it is just a wrestling-based thing. But when you add in the element of jiu-jitsu and you add in the fact that it's going to be a 15-minute match, there are a few questions that I think lie in this, and they have to be that Elder looked like he was trying to get more of the takedowns here. That's a very interesting result because I don't think that Nicky is going to feel necessarily like he lost much. I think that there's also something to be said of Elder's ability to control all of those furies that Nicky Rod was trying to initiate. A lot of those moments, they seemed like they were really going to push Elder to the edge, and they did not. What is up, 10th Planet Chino Hills? And Charlton Mospetillion, what's up? Jesus Christ. So Elder is saying he did expect that kind of a pace and that kind of a match. And he's putting him over and saying he is a super tough wrestler. But he's glad that he's able to grind it out and come away with the victory. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to talk to Hal about how much he's playing this up, dude. So Elder saying, you know, our journeys are similar in the sense that we both got fast tracked to our blue belts. We were both people who came from a wrestling background, but, you know, our jiu-jitsu journeys aren't all that different. Looks like Hal is talking more about events that air on Flow Grappling. So, cool. You're on all these other events that you could see only on Flow Grappling with a long-term subscription. And it was a split decision. That is very interesting to note, too. And Elder says the next thing he's doing is ADCC trials. And now he wants to try and chop away at other names on the top of the list, like Duarte, and more call-outs like that. I will say, I will also talk to the kid about this weird ass fucking shooting at blanks at wherever he's shooting. Like, you register those hands, young man? They're weapons. All right, 2 more matches left to go. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching on the main broadcast, we are about our way to what is going to be a very interesting match between Tye Ruotolo and Levi Jones-Leary. You got one of the 2 Wonder Twins versus the Xanadu God himself. Which, by the way, Xanadu God is, that's definitely a name you come up with when you are fucking high. I mean, you can tell me differently, that's fine, but nothing wrong with it. Just, I think that dude got high and was like, today you guys will call me Xanadu God. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be. Like, that's his Sasha Fierce. And I will never not give him shit about it. I hope that you guys who are watching the main broadcast over on our Instagram, on our YouTube and our Facebook, I hope that you are enjoying this broadcast that we have very silly in our naming referred to as the Grappling Hour Watches Tezos is Who's Number One, Jones versus Marinho, presented by Grappling Hour, because I thought we need to make our name longer than theirs will ever be. And I believe mission accomplished. So if you're just joining us right now, like we said just a few moments ago, what's up, South Bay 310 BJJ? We are about to watch a match between Levi Leary Jones and the and Tye Ruotolo. So if you guys have comments, concerns, questions, hints, allegations, hit me in the comment section. I'm always happy to take your notes, your comments, your concerns, your thoughts, whatever you got for me. I am here for your entertainment. And not only am I going to give you guys some of the play-by-play of the matches that come up right now, but if you give us a like and a share and you tag us on Facebook or on any of our social media, we will give you a toast on air just like we do those fighters that get finishes within regulation. So right now, I just saw one of our homies gave us a like and a share. We're going to give a nice little cheers on out to our good friend, Kevin Ross. Kevin Ross, yo, fam, we always appreciate when you do great shit for us. You're one of the best. And I got to tell you, man, you're wrestling like Nicky Rod and El Monstro. And then, like, you know, yours is on the board somewhere. So cheers to you. In the meantime, like I said, any comments, questions, concerns, hints, allegations, hit me up. I know that some of you don't have flow grappling. That's okay. You don't need it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you the play-by-play and tell you what's really happening. The Xanadu God is making his way on out first. And yes, Levi is at the young age of 24. He's looking like he got the leftovers from the Quicksilver fire sale that happened here from the Avengers. What's up, Mark Hopkins? Good to see you. Appreciate y'all. We're having a very fun and entertaining night. 2 more matches left for you guys on what has already been a very entertaining night. So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We're going to have a great time here. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget, tomorrow we are doing a fight companion that will take place at Strength and Mobility. You can watch it at Grappling Hour on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Any one of those places. So we hope that you'll come and join us tomorrow because it is going to be a great time. I see there was a share on somebody from the Facebook. I can't see who it is. I'm just going to assume, Megan, that's probably you. So cheers going out to Megan, one of the OGs, one of the best fans that we got. I like to consider her family in this side. Thank you so much for always supporting us. We love it when you show up. We couldn't be happier that you're here. So cheers to you. Well, bam. You want one of those? Give us a like and a share. Tag us. Let us know where we can see and where we can hear you guys out, because we are getting close to the main event. So
in response to our earlier question, which is, when is Pedro playing? The answer is almost. So we're getting there. So don't go anywhere. Meanwhile, Ruotolo and Jones-Leary about to happen in front of your faces in 3, 2, 1. We are already there, and we already see a sit to guard and almost a cross-legged sit to guard, which I think is a dangerous thing to do with a Ruotolo brother, because Levi, he real good, man. Levi Jones-Leary is very good, but I wonder if that is enough to throw off somebody as seasoned or as spectacular as a Ruotolo brother themselves. Going on right now. Join us. So, that is what we are doing. We are making sure that you guys are covered. Comments, questions, concerns, hints, allegations, hit me up in the comment section. Passing of guard, the step down. One of the trademarks of the Ruotolo bros is to always, whenever you pass, put one foot down on top of your opponent's leg or foot, and then start to make your way around the body. And while most people say, yeah, try to do that, it is harder than you think. What is up, Peru crew? Now, in doing that, Tye did leave his leg out ever so slightly. Ruotolo may be in some trouble here. Jones-Leary, for a split second, had a moment of opportunity. He's going to switch it over to the other leg, kind of trying to hit a reap, and Ruotolo having almost no issue getting right back up and starting to go into an aggressive-like stature. The way that, oh my God, Tye can move his body is something to behold. These Ruotolo brothers are very much the future of it. And it says, if I follow you, can you follow me? Honestly, I'll forget. I'll be very, very clear, because mostly I'm drinking. But I'd love it if you follow me. I don't know what you do. Tell me what you do in the comments. Trying to pass. Woo! It's it looks like one Tye Ruotolo is passing, but with the technology of the movie The Matrix in the bullet time animation, where it looks like he is flailing his arms and making sure he's not going to get hit by any projectiles. So props to this young kid. But as you'll notice, Jones-Leary hasn't let him so much as get too far in passing. I see right here, it says, I'm a gamer. I like Rocket League, Fortnite, Apex, COD, BO4. Uh-oh. For a split second here, though, a few times, some of these movements would not render many of you okay. Many of these things would definitely be problematic for any of you trying to escape with this kind of frantic movement. And so far, I think the match is going the way we think it would have. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not much of a gamer, but I like that you're here. And if I remember to do it, I will try to do it tonight. So thank you. Uh-oh. Tye for a split second looked like he was almost thinking about a twister, but he may now go into trying to get the mount. Dude, bro, you have an arm triangle here if you wanted to keep it like that. Joshua Jitsu just asked a question. What do you consider the mainstream? That is going to be the one you're looking at. So me pointing at you right now. That would be YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. They're all the same stream. But we have a separate stream going on for our friends on Instagram. So that's the difference. And I see a note here that says, Evan Gibbs, you got a link for the stream, homie, LMAO. No, I don't. Sorry about that. I don't do illegal streams on here because I work too hard for my content. But I'm happy to give you play-by-play if you're too cheap. I got you, fam. That's what I'm here for. Listen, we do our best here on the show to help out our friends because, let's be real, a subscription to Flow, too much money. But I can tell you this, there's 10 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Leary Jones, or Jones-Leary, doing an excellent job of maintaining a guard
Every time it looks like Tye is maybe about to clear the legs, you see a very quick retraction from Jones Leary to make sure to keep him at bay, swiveling a foot, keeping him aback. In the back, you see Murillo Murillo, let's just leave it at that, Santana, in the background, yelling out shit as he only can, sounding like Andre the Giant. So that is always something fun to behold as well. Oof, he's literally surfing on the fucking right leg of Levi Jones Leary, which harder to do than you think, but I guess those surfing lessons do pay off for those young kids. That is something that they like to do whenever they get some off time. As I have learned, you see Tye Ruotolo now trying to come in, attacking the leg, almost makeshifting it. It could be decent enough. It's still a little bit too south, but he could rechamber it. This is bad. This is not great. He is coming over. He does get the tap. Hey, well done, Tye Ruotolo. Getting it done. Yo, Jones Leary is nothing to scoff at. That man is a beast in his own right, and maybe, just maybe, playing a little too smooth for a Ruotolo brother who made his own luck here tonight. He looked around. He said, you know what? Fuck around and find out. Tonight, I'm going to be able to find this footlock on you. I'm going to be able to find this heel hook, even when it looks like I'm not going to be able to do it. So, major props to him. This kid is a megastar. Him, his brother, and the fact that, you know what? I'm going to save it for the toast. That's what I'm going to do. When we get to the toast, I'm going to say even nicer things. Because these kids, let me tell you about them, they owe me an interview still. I have aggressively texted them. And by aggressively, I mean, I sent them like, hey, when are we doing this? So we're going to do a toast to them. And guess who I'm going to do a toast to right now? Which is a toast to ObDevFlix 56. This cheers goes on out to you. You said you just followed us. I appreciate that. Listen, I know a few things about you. For example, I know that you like gaming. I know that you love Fortnite. Don't know what that is. Apex sounds cool. COD, I know what that one is. And BO4, I thought I did, but I forgot. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying to you is cheers and thank you for following along on Blind Faith. And if I remember and I'm not too drunk, I'll give you a follow back because I appreciate you. So cheers to you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of our broadcast. One more match still to go. You guys want one of those? All you have to do, give us a like and a share, and make sure you tag us because I may not see it. And I try to keep my eyes out all the way through, but man, the replay on that heel hook, the stuff of dreams. Let's hear what he has to say in his post presser. And I see some new comments. And let me see here. Joshua Jitsu, you said, I'll follow because you seem like the homie. I'll give you a cheers in just a second here. Oh, look at that. He made history by becoming a 2-division champion. Yay. And Joshua Jitsu says, how big of a title do I have to win to do an interview, though? That's a good question. All interviews are not the same. Let's be very honest. Just do some good shit and we'll see. You can either win or you could do good in the community. And there are a lot of shitty people in the community, so I tell them you better win big. But if people are doing good things in the community, giving back to their community, helping out, we do try to keep our ears out for that. But honestly, I really do my best to go around and do more than just big names in the jiu-jitsu scene. You'll see a lot of my interviews are with a lot of local talent because I feel like y'all deserve a platform just as much as any of these idiots. It says, getting two of my friends to follow. Oh, look at this. Winning your way into my heart. I might even cheers you one more time. We'll see. So, Ruotolo was saying he wants to go up to another weight class just for funsies. And Hal Teague looks like he is creaming in his pants just hearing the possibility of that. Okay, so they're going to look over the replay of that finish, and I do want to hear him break down a little bit of the mechanics here. What is up, Crush Crew JJ? Good to see you. Hope you're having a great night. So he's talking about the placement of his hips to get the outside heel hook here. Yeah, no, the rechamber here, and then seeing how Leary Jones wanted to, or Jones Leary wanted to go, and then realizing you could go belly down on that heel hook was what I think a very smart play by Levi to tap very early. What is up, Pat Dej? Thank you so much. I know this, and it says, I love how you sound like a guy when he talks about the people playing. I know these people. I know a lot of these people. I don't know what to tell you, man. A lot of these are the homies, and I love to see our friends do well in the community. And in this case, Levi's been on the show. Tye's been on the show. Coming up next, Pedro's been on the show. Craig has been on the show. Brianna Ste-Marie's been on the show. We've had a lot of people on the show. And for me, you know, if we've had two similar people, it's cool, who have been on the show and who love us and we love them. It's cool, but I just want people to have a good opportunity. I want them to have their chance to go show why their jiu-jitsu is great. And that's really all you can do, is just hope that the opportunity avails itself and that people can get out there and show what makes their contributions that much more special. So, yeah, I get hype about that shit, man. So it's a little bit of a difference of doing play-by-play, mixing it up, because some of you don't have the feed, some of you do. A little bit of commentary, a little bit of nonsense, a little bit of jokes, and then, you know, I would say a lot of alcohol. And that's something I've done play-by-play for a number of different scenarios and different organizations, but I'm not drinking on the job there. This one, really fast and loose. We could say that one. So let me see here. The note says, I love the energy, so I'll tell a lot of people about it because you are a homie. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really, really means a lot because, you know, we do our best here, man. We're an emerging sport, and we all got to do what we can to try and make it a little bit bigger each time. And this is something I feel passionate about, and I do because I love it. It's definitely not for the money. You get it? Because, like, in jiu-jitsu, like, people don't have money, you know? Like, athletes can't eat sometimes. I'm just saying. This shit's wild. All right. I see a note here that says, Crush Crew. Who you got in the next one? You're talking about, let me go ahead and change the branding on the main broadcast. And you're talking about Craig Jones versus Pedro Marinho. I mentioned that both of these people have been on the show, and I feel it would be a bad form to tell you who I think is going to win. So I'm going to do it. And I would tell you, I think it's Craig Jones. I think he is the odds-on favorite here. So there are levels to this thing. Obviously, we like to make the joke that Craig Jones is the perennial second place, thus B team. He's run the course on that joke, but people are going to laugh because it shows he's self-effacing. But for all that we like to give Craig Jones shit about being number 2, who is he number 2 to? Is to people like Gordon. Everybody else, he has definitely shown that he is a level above, with the exception of maybe Mason Fowler in overtime. And Mason's a beast. I love Mason too. But he's also lost to Craig Jones in the ADCC format. In the submission format for Submission Underground, different story. So, not to put down Mason. He's been on the show a number of times too, and I'm sure if he hears that, he'll come after me. You have to feel that Craig Jones has a skill set that even though we joke about, you don't joke about how good and effective it is. So, having said all of that, Pedro Marinho seems like he knows the task at hand and will do his best to give us a good show. And for that, I have the utmost respect for him. I've seen Pedro go out swinging. We've seen him be a double champion recently. Like, he has the right pedigree, but we've also seen that Craig can have really boring matches with people who like to play a passing style. And you get the feeling with this wrestling, Craig will probably pull guard. And if it becomes that Sean Brady situation again, could be problematic. So That's my outline of their jiu-jitsu games. I still favor Craig, having said all of that. Did I just negate all of that? Did I literally just say all these things and I'm like, I think Craig is going to win even though it's bullshit? Because the other guy could win too, so Pedro could win. Who gives a fuck? Craig. Does that satisfy you? Or we get that? I hope so. And it says, how much followers do you have? I don't know. That's a great question. This is one of our 2 channels. So the Grappling Hour is actually a spinoff of our main broadcast, which is Verbal Tap. I would say altogether, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of, 30,000 followers? Somewhere in there. This channel in itself, definitely smaller. But between the 2 of them, we do different types of shows. Verbal Tap is all of MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. We are the longest running Jiu-Jitsu program for podcasts on a weekly basis. And Grappling Hour is like, man, I really try to feature a lot of the grapplers that we just didn't have the time to put on Verbal Tap each week. So at our best, we try to get about 2 or 3 interviews a week. But that shit hard. You got to schedule people. And I'll let you in on a secret. Athletes, not very good at scheduling. If one thing is going to submit athletes, it's not going to be their opponent. It's going to be a calendar. That just comes from years of experience of knowing how they interact and the goonishness that they do. So I like this. Craig is 30. Pedro, 25, 5'8" versus 5'11". I didn't know if I ever actually got a height on Craig. I just always assumed he was 6 feet tall. But here you go. Didn't even make 6 foot. What a disappointment. All right, kids, who do you guys have for this main event right now? I got 15 minutes on my clock. I hope that you guys enjoy this one. All right, we're now at the main event. Let's go. And I'm going to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. It is that simple. We always make sure to take care of our friends, and we hope that you take care of us in the same way, because we care. We love y'all. Both these gents starting with stand-up. Pedro trying to get some decent control on the wrists and on the arms. Not quite getting there just yet. Craig utilizing a little bit of his reach and his height to try to break the pressure of Pedro. It's going to be interesting because I feel like even though Pedro is shorter, that does almost seem like an invitation to shoot in for at least a double, if not a single. But Craig, as deceptive as it may be, very strong. So do not overlook what that could play in this setting right now. 13:52 on my clock. You're going to notice Craig continuously playing on that neck, similar to Nicky Rod, and putting a lot of stress on it. Could be signposting. I've seen Craig come through with some excellent guillotines. He knows what to do. What is up, Run T DMC? Good to see you. Appreciate y'all. And it says, how much do you pay for Flow Grappling? I think it's just the yearly subscription, so it's whatever they're like 140 bullshit. I don't know. I think you mean to say how much do I write it off for every year? Probably that much. So that's what we're doing right now. You should love the way that I go to my tax guy whenever I give him my receipts. I literally just hand it to him and go, I'm sorry. Make me not go to jail? Thank you. So, some bullshit though. They cost too much money. I'll just be upfront on that. But unfortunately, we do not have a Netflix, so that's why you're spending far more money on this than you do for Hulu, I bet. I wonder if they'll ever go to a model where they can allow for ads, because this bullshit of them putting on an event and then being like, and now we go to the Little Caesars cam. And they push it on over to the side like pro wrestling does whenever they've got a commercial. I go, bro, I want grappling to do well, but Little Caesars doesn't just give you $0. So why am my bill so high? 12:30 on my clock. That's what I got here, kids. Thank you for liking and sharing. Appreciate y'all. If you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air, just like we do those who get finishes within regulation. And by the way, way to not remind me, I got to do a toast for Tye Ruotolo. He can't even drink, so I can't even go have a beer with that kid.
I mean, I probably could. I've heard stories, but I'm not going to. Not until a kid turns 21, which probably is tomorrow. I don't even know. Those kids are eternally fucking kids to me. So it is hard to keep up with that information sometimes. But I do appreciate them. They are some of the nicest savages you will ever meet in your entire life. Again, more of the same here. Evan Gibbs, I just saw the like. I might give you another toast right now in a second. So this is frustrating. If you're Pedro Marinho, you want to get around that neck. You want to pull him down. You go to that foot sweep. That's probably good. He even checks in. He's like, yo, bro, I might have checked on your leg. Is that cool? Craig is like, it's all good. While they're replaying their games, respectively, of standing up and stalling, I'm going to give a toast on over again to Evan Gibbs. Evan, this toast goes on out to you for giving us a subscription on our channel. Can I tell you how much that means to us? We hope that you like all of our content. We hope that you like our interviews. We hope that you like our nonsense, like our games that we do. We do some really wild shit on this show. So, and I hope that your jiu-jitsu is good this week. I hope as a result of giving us a follow, you get 10 submissions this next week. That's on us. Oh, can't refund it. Because if you don't get 10 submissions, that's not on me. It's more on you. But I'm not going to tell you any differently. And it just says, no worries. Just keep up the good content. Appreciate, bro. Thank you so much. Woo, look at that. Pedro's getting a little feisty, though. And I know we talked about Craig Jones's guillotine, but we can't forget Pedro Marinho's epic face that he made in a guillotine of his own. So, I'm just going to tell you guys. This is interesting. Holy fuck, did he just try to E-Honda him right now? Pedro, what the fuck was that? He literally headbutted his chest. What's happening? What's up, Joshua Leonard? If you're just joining us, Pedro Marinho just tried to E-Honda spear his way into Craig Jones's sternum. And listen, you know what? Sometimes when you've been standing up for 5 minutes and you really haven't gotten too far, and Craig Jones is almost selectively slapping you, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, I did put the names up there. Okay, good. It says, sounds like a blast double. I mean, it does. And dude, they keep fucking turning down the lights. Like, dude, the Undertaker is not here. You don't need to keep turning off the lights. And if he is here, he won't be out for another 10 minutes, by which we'll be done here, fam. So everybody just chill. What is up, Donio Jiu-Jitsu? You're here for the main event. It looks like the two of them are still being hyper respectful of one another and even kind of mentioning like, hey, I got you there. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to scratch you there. I'll scratch myself too. We'll just make it even. Yay, samesies. Is what they seem to be saying to each other. Craig Jones trying to play a little bit of mercy. I think he might have hurt his own hand on that one. Looks at it as if to be like, ah, good day, mate. That thing doesn't work anymore. Uh-oh. So foot sweep attempt by Pedro Marinho there does not get any sort of traction. Pedro almost had a snatch single, but instead, Craig didn't just shove him off. Looked like he essentially left overhand him off. And by that, I mean kind of slugged him a little bit here. Fascinating matchup between these two thus far in. I think Craig might have touched his dick. Yeah, I'll just say that. It looked like he was going to reach for the levels, and I think he was checking the wrong levels there. Or maybe right. For him. Who knows? Hard to say. Overbaked Hippie just asked, Nicky Rod match over. Yes, it was, and it was very tense. He ended up losing to Elder Cruz in a split decision, which, in my opinion, I do agree with. So, thank you for asking. And it says, checking his T levels. Absolutely, that's the best. Sorry, I wish this was on a main broadcast because I would have put it up for people to see. But guys, that's the comment to beat. I don't know. This is the last match that anybody's going to beat that one. But checking his T levels is... He's pushing him with his head again. God damn it, Pedro. What the fuck are you doing? Woo! This shit is too entertaining. I will tell you guys this. Between y'all's comments and them,
I am enjoying this match more than I should. I think if you guys were not here, I would probably just be watching it and going, yeah, this is okay. Sure. Which happens for a lot of matches. An interesting element is happening here with B Team. It looks like they feel one of the ways to strike a little bit of fear right now, if you're an opponent facing a B Team member, namely today, Craig Jones and Nicky Rod, is to just stand up and wrestle with these guys. I think that Craig is trying to expand his horizons, but for that Nicky Rod one in particular, it does look a little interesting to see how they're playing this one out. I'm being perfectly honest when I say, like, notice the overbearing similarities between this match and the last match, which is excellent grapplers, good wrestling that could potentially happen here, but instead there's a little bit of a disconnect. And I think Pedro was again going to headbutt him straight into the top portion of his bridge of his nose. What's up, Wu-Tang Pete? What is up, Gorilla Bear? Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you give us a like and a share right now, we will give you a toast on air. Just make sure you tag us and that we see it. And if we don't see it, do us a solid. Feel free to give us a little nudge in the comment section. I try to keep my eyes on all of that as the broadcast goes on. There's 6 minutes left to go here. So we learned the last time that, yes, the judges awarded a little bit of a edge to Elder Cruz because it looked like he was initiating the wrestling exchanges in that last match. But if I'm being honest, I think the referee just kind of called him out for stalling and was like, yo, you guys want to stop being bitches now? So there was a pull to guard from Craig, which is normally where he does his best work. Now watch this classic Gracie Barra passing that is happening from Pedro Marinho that will tell you a few things. If Craig can latch on and get a leg, we know it's over. So watch how Pedro is going to do his best to make sure that his legs are staying in a very, very far back region. He does almost establish a pass guard, and he does get past Craig Jones's guard. Craig is very quickly trying to koala himself underneath by pressing out and almost trying to bridge back over. And he's having difficulty here because Pedro is doing an excellent job of maintaining his body position, but Craig does manage to retain his guard and even seems to give a little bit of a nod of acknowledgement to Pedro as if to say, like, yeah, you did pass my guard. And it said Pedro just did a private with Jordan Holy. I think he's comfy with leg locks, honestly. I think you're right. I think that's by design. But I think what ends up happening here, Joshua Leonard, is not so much that he wouldn't be savvy at them. I think you can understand leg locks. I think people can teach leg locks. But I think the issue is if Craig gets a good bite, we have seen him make even the most savvy individual look amateur. So, something to consider. Although, if he does get subbed, I think you guys should go up to Jordan and say you should refund him. Tell him I said that. Just kidding. It says, where do you train and what belt are you? Mr. Grappling Hour. Mr. Grappling Hour. That's my dad's name. Please, I'm just Raph. I train over at Valley Martial Arts Center here in Los Angeles. So I am out in Burbank. I also train no-gi with a bunch of my friends and goons and hooligans over at New Ground Jiu-Jitsu, which is in Studio City. And I've got some friends. I even do a little bit of striking. I'm not a boxer. Please don't believe that I think I am. And I do some striking and grappling with my friends over at Milton Arguello's Mixed Martial Arts Academy over in Woodland Hills. So those are a number of the places where I go train. I try to be a friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster who goes to visit every academy at some point. So I wouldn't be surprised if you ever come out to LA that you run into me. I am probably the easiest person in the world to find on the mats. So most people just know where I am. And I've had people come and find me. It's fun. Here we go. Last 3 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in this match. If you are noticing, because Pedro ended up getting that slight guard pass for a very, very not super technical match thus far in, maybe that's the wrong way of phrasing it. For a not exciting, I don't want to say that either. Perhaps for a little bit of a tense, that's a better word, match that we have seen here, it could make the difference because it does show the fact that although on the wrestling exchanges, nobody really got the better of each other, they both equally tried to press. And we did learn the last time, like we were trying to allude to earlier, that the judges did seem to give Elder Cruz the nod by initiating more of it. It's no secret that you see Craig Jones now starting to try and press ahead and trying to motivate this action. And with good cause. What's up, Casey? By the way, if you guys haven't checked out this week's edition of Verbal Tap, go listen. Go watch our friend, Casey Leiden, do some excellent breakdown and analysis of this week's UFC 270 card as he plays an installment of Over Under Kevin, one of our most popular segments on our show. So I definitely would love to hear you guys give us some feedback on that. He was a very, very funny guest, and he will be back on next week's edition to go over the fights that happen tomorrow. And as a reminder, tomorrow we do another one of these over at Strength and Mobility, our good friends over there at Sven Mansell's gym, and that is going to be a lot of fun. So, a minute 50 left to go here. Pedro's been trying these foot sweeps, and you got to figure, because he's not as lengthy as Craig Jones, trying to hit those foot sweeps is harder. It is not as easy to get them when your opponent has a leg circumference that will allow him to basically sidestep out of it. So it says right here, Evan Gibbs, very cool, man. I'm over here at Gracie University headquarters. Come through and visit sometime. I would love to. I got a couple homies there. I think Steven Rosales is the homie over that way. And if memory serves me right, I think it's also, is it my good man Sideshow 310 over that way too? Sideshow BJJ. Please tell them Rafa Sparza of Verbal Tapcast tells them hello. It says, I know him. He works at the front, right? I believe he does, yeah. He's a good kid. I really like him. He trains well. Good attitude. Very, very nice to us. All right, 58 seconds here left to go. Not too much super excitement here. Knee tap attempt. Nothing doing. Another leg sweep attempt. A push. Craig Jones now probably realizes he is grappling with a crazy man. And he tried to rush forward, now pulling down on the neck. And it has been a little bit of a mixed bag here tonight for the folks over at B Team. I wouldn't dare say bad night for them because I don't think they're embarrassing themselves by any means. But I think in terms of what looks like them wanting to be a little bit more wrestle heavy, they just got paired up with dance partners that didn't let them really get an inch. And as a result, may kind of both put in wins. We'll have to see. There's still a little bit of discrepancy up in the air. I would say this. I do not think that Pedro has been as dominant in terms of pushing the action as Elder was. So could be there. Did I just see Craig Jones try to go for a fireman's carry? What a fucking weird world we live in. And yeah, Pedro sees this neck, thought for a split second maybe he could get a guillotine. Craig runs out of time before he can counter with his own, gives nice love and daps to him right there. And Evan Gibbs says, nice, I'll tell him what's up. Absolutely, please do. And Evan, just know if you are in the Valley and you want to come up to one of our open mats, New Ground is an open mat. Open to all Sundays, 10:30 to 12:30, and over at Milton Arguello's Mixed Martial Arts Academy over in Woodland Hills. You can come to that one. It is at 11 to 1 p.m. So should you find yourself out in the Valley, come, say hello with us, get some rolls in. And it's a unanimous decision for your new Who's Number One champion, Senor Pedro Marinho. Excellent work. And Evan says, I would love to. I'll keep that in mind. You better, fam. Because now that you said that, I'm going to come hunt you down. Or I'm going to go send somebody out after you. I know hitmen now. Now I know people. I might even have to call up. I don't really know him, but I might have to call up Henner to just be like, yo, Henner, can you go after this person? He'd be like, yes, of course, Raf. But here's a few things that I would like to tell you. Of course, there are some very, very good elements in his game. His jiu-jitsu game, very nice, very clean, but also very surprising because he will not know that I am going to murder him with one of my hoods, wrap it around his head, tie it up tightly, and then put it ever so nicely back on my back. Thanks, everybody. So please do. Last match of the night. You can't say it didn't disappoint. Oh, God. It says, please don't send Henner out for me. I will not. I will make sure. Justin just said, who won? Well, could be a surprise to a number of people here, but Pedro Marinho did end up beating Craig Jones, and it was an interesting match. Really it's close, but it was a unanimous decision. But in terms of how anybody played, I don't think Craig super lost anything as much as he just didn't get the win. Maybe? And it says, good stuff. Liked it better than Flo. Thanks for the coverage. Secret Jiu-Jitsu Club, of course. I've always got your back. You guys take care of the athletes, and I love taking care of the people who take care of the athletes. So it is my pleasure. I hope that I'll see you guys back tomorrow. But we're not quite done here yet. We're going to give you a little bit of a recap of what Pedro is saying here. Look at this guy trying to get his parada time, but doesn't know that they just cut away from that angle. He was trying to sell that t-shirt. They just split it. What a dick move, Flo. And it says, Evan, Craig, the second place king. Yes, long live the second place king indeed. And it says, Craig's kind of been not super losing lately, but also not super winning. That's probably the most accurate description of Craig Jones's past matches. He did beat Donald Cerrone pretty handily, though, so I'll give him that. So they're now asking Pedro Marinho, what does it feel like to become the champion of Who's Number One? A random ass thing that we came up with here at Flow Grappling. So, okay, he's saying he's happy is essentially what it is. And it says Sean Brady versus Pedro Marinho is the match we didn't know we needed. Maybe. It's not a bad thing here, Joshua. And Pedro's giving props. He's saying, big things are happening now that he has moved on over to Houston. So now Hal is doing the connecting of the dots from his earlier jizz in his pants to ask if he would be interested in taking on Tye Ruotolo going up a match. And Pedro's coming in with an Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan belt versus belt match. So I don't know what any of this is. At this point, it's a little hard to decipher. And I do love me some Pedro Marinho, so. And I think he says the goal is to become the best pound-for-pound person in the world. So, yes. And he says that he wants to get a rematch. And it says he wants to fight Gordon. I mean, here's the good news. When you do face somebody like Craig and you do get a win over him, why not? Shoot your shot. Oddly, I thought it was Tim Spriggs that was trying to do the exact same thing. So, why the fuck not? What is up, Ivan Ramirez, Espana? What is up? Great to see you guys. That was a weird-ass event. Let's be real. It's good that we were able to finish our broadcast in 2 hours and 40 minutes. However, it was actually just 2 hours because they actually did nothing for the first 30 minutes. I know, because we signed on in time. We let them do their opening remarks and their opening insignia, and then they just kind of said like, hey, you guys any cool stories you want to talk about before we start going on air? Anybody have anything they want to share with the group? They did a couples therapy session. There was a lot of shit that they wasted their time with here tonight. But I can tell you this. A few takeaways. One, I got to fucking do toasts. Shit. You guys almost let me forget to do a toast to Tye Ruotolo. Okay. I would have been so mad at you guys had I not done this. All right, here we go. This cheers goes on out to friend of the show, Tye Ruotolo. Tye, where are you at, fam? Why are you ducking me? You and your brother. I asked for interviews with you kids. I've texted politely. And guess what? In the time that you have not given me a follow-up interview, you've gone out and won more stuff. As a result now, I'm 3 interviews behind. I think we got to put this behind us, kids, because I want to give you a toast and talk about how great you were tonight, how excellent your submission was, how beautiful your timing was. But I can't do that. Instead, I got to say, where's my interview, fam? Don't make me threaten you because I can't. But I will tell you, we need to do it in person and we will make it epic. So this goes out to Tye, but it also involves Cade. So I will tell you this right now. Cheers to you for a great showing here tonight. We love you guys, and we cannot wait to do our interview. Let's do it sooner than later. Cheers to both you gents. But it really should just be for Tye because he was the one that got the submission tonight. We have very strange rules. Got to follow the rules. Love you, kids. See you soon. All right. As Flow Grappling, I think they'll probably do, what do they do? Like a wrap-up show? I don't watch that either. I'll just tell you what I feel. We were talking about things that we could go over this night. First and foremost, if you're going through the evening, we learned a few things. We learned that Martinez and Musumeci, interesting match. Of course, Esteban Martinez, the Tasmanian Devil of jiu-jitsu. This kid, there's something very, very compelling in watching him do his jiu-jitsu. He may not have beat Mikey Musumeci, but going the distance with him is huge. So have much appreciation and love for that kid. Jacob Couch getting a win over David Garmo. Very well done. Beautifully timed on his part as well. Excellent submission there. Looking at Brianna Ste-Marie, continuing her long streak of putting on incredible matches. Again, somebody you never want to take your eyes off of when they are competing, because you know that not only will she find a way to win, but that she is a consistent name within jiu-jitsu that works her ass off to give you something good to watch. And of course, looking through at Nicky Rodriguez versus Elder Cruz. An interesting match. It went the distance. It was a split decision, but it was the right one, in my opinion. I think Elder Cruz is really establishing himself as one of the people to watch. And if he does not get the actual win at ADCC trials, I feel we will still see him in that tournament by somehow, by magic, by science. Who can say what it is? But a big win over Nicky Rod, I think, is going to take that kid to maybe a new level that he was already starting to ascend to. So got all the love for him. And finally, Craig Jones, Pedro Marinho. I mean, if you're going to really find a way to beat Craig, this is one of the ways to do it. You have to be consistent with your work. You have to be very, very careful with where you place your legs, and you have to really push him in a way that's going to make him feel uncomfortable. And I think that Pedro and his team did an excellent job in creating that strategy here tonight. So there was a lot to be learned. There was a lot that I feel like we were able to see and kind of maneuver with. So kudos to everybody who came through this evening. As a reminder, tomorrow we will be at Strength and Mobility. We hope that you guys will tune in with us. We will be doing another one of these, but we're going to have a panel tomorrow because we're going to be with the folks at Strength and Mobility. I cannot wait to be with those people. They are so nice, amazing gents, excellent analysis all the way around. Please do not miss it, especially if you are watching and you are in a place where you feel like you want to listen to the commentary of Joe Rogan, DC, and John Anik. I think it means that you need to reach out to friends. I think that you need help. I'm just going to say it right now. It's okay to reach out to help. That's what we're here for. What's up, Train Angry MMA? Good to see you. I'm sure that you were very, very busy this evening. And it said, I clipped the part where you talked about an open mat place and time. I have a buddy that trains with me at home, but never anywhere formally. Is he welcome to? Yeah, open all. And definitely hit me up. You can hit me up at Grappling Hour or at Verbal Tap Cast on either of the social medias. Just give me a heads up so that way I know and I can try and be there myself. I think I have a reputation. People can tell me if it's wrong. But I think of having a reputation of being a pretty safe grappler to roll with. I don't try to wreck people. but I will match your pace as much as a 39-year-old can. So for the most part, you come train with me. It's all friendly, but you go wild and out. Oh, man. You're going to have to make me either go all out or I will get a folding chair because I am proficient in the pro wrestling arts. Which, by the way, WWE BJJ Week is coming back very soon. And that is our wonderful mix of pro wrestling and jiu-jitsu. There is a competition element of it. We take fan submissions, and then we crown the best person at WWE BJJ Week. And I'll go ahead and tell you guys this right now. Not only do we crown a winner, but we crown a winner and we give out belts. Did I do that the right way? Yeah, this way. Look at this. Look at this shit. So we're going to be crowning the winner of last year's BJJ Week, WWE BJJ Week, within the next couple of weeks. I cannot wait to give this thing out. I think you guys will be surprised as to who won, but we'll see. So keep a lookout for that. There will be more announcements and information coming out about that in the near future. But in case you don't know, WWE BJJ Week is the creation of myself. It is something that we do where we allow people, fans, friends of the show, to submit videos of the combination of pro wrestling and jiu-jitsu, where those two things intersect. And this year, we decided we were going to give away a championship belt, and we will be doing that for last year's winner coming up this next couple weeks. So you will want to keep an eye out for that. I think we're also doing a fight companion. We're doing one tomorrow for UFC 270. But then we're also doing one for the Royal Rumble, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. So just keeping you guys in the know on the multiple things that we do here on the show. But we love you guys. We appreciate you all. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you would be so kind, give us a like and a subscribe on all of our channels. That's at Grappling Hour on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. And then, of course, we're on Apple Podcasts. We just put up some new content. There's one episode that has a really bad sound. I apologize. I know I shouldn't harp on it, but it really does make me sad. So we do our best to really try and give you guys the best entertainment possible. But new episodes of Grappling Hour come out at least weekly. And then, as an extra funsies bonus, we also put out live chats and interviews that we do on the side as extra bonus content because we love you guys. We do our best to give you the best material that we can. So on top of the fight companions and the other casual nonsense that we do, we hope that you enjoy that sort of stuff as well. And I think, friends, that's going to about wrap it up for me. It has been a fantastic day. If you guys want to go ahead and catch us tomorrow, I'd love it. It'd be great. You see us with some good people and learn some new people because guess what? Got some great friends who are stopping in tomorrow. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Give us a like, a subscribe. We'll do cheers, all that good jazz. And that'll do it for us. So my thanks, my appreciation to all of you guys. It has, of course, been a great day for grappling. My name is Rafa Esparza. We'll see you back on the mat.